when I'm driving around that Corvette, the Corvette doesn't have a radio. It's one of the best things I've ever done. Yeah, you know what? And having no radio, when you drive around with no radio, 3, 2, 1, live, boom! When I was young and I used to deliver newspapers, my car didn't have a radio. And I used to come up with some of my best shit, like for like stand-up comedy material, with no radio, just driving around doing other things, because I had to fold newspapers up and throw them out the window.
I bet, man.
And when you have no radio, you're forced to think. And when you're forced to think, you think about shit. When you're forced to think about shit, you go, It's like we're constantly distracted, man. We want to look at our phone all the time. We want to see this podcast today, ladies and gentlemen. No laptop. I'm trying a new thing, Jamie.
Nice.
No laptop. I'm trying. And then if I got Jamie here, if I need to Google some shit.
Boom. That's what he's here for.
I probably should have tweeted. It's about to start. Here, I'll tweet it right now.
That might help.
That might help a little bit.
There you are.
Yeah, here I am, distracted.
It's important, man. I mean, in the car, you spend so much time in the car and you listen to music and just to pass time.
Exactly.
I'm with you, man.
Well, one thing that's good though is podcasts and books on tape. I do really enjoy doing that. I think that like having the option is probably better, but the Corvette doesn't have a radio. And I like not having a radio. I like sometimes just driving around, just being alone with the thoughts, hearing the rumble of the engine. You know,
if I had that engine, yes, I agree.
Well, your engine is pretty fucking sweet sounding too.
Yeah, it's dope, but it's not that Corvette. Thing sounds.
Well, it's a different kind of thing, but you wouldn't want to live with that every day either. You would get annoyed.
Correct.
You'd be like, all right, you're fucking loud. It'd be like living with a crazy coked up stripper.
I was just going to say that. It's like dating a stripper, man. It seems fun. Every now and then it gets real old.
But not just living with her, but like she would have to drive you to work.
And everyone sees you. Hey, look at me.
And she's got tattoos on her neck, and she's loud, and she smells like cum. It's smells like cum. It's just like, oh, this is fun on Saturday in Vegas.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, like, listen, lady, I'm almost 30 years old. I got to get my life in order. You got to get out of my fucking life.
I'm at Starbucks, bitch. I need you to pipe down.
That's what happens when you're young. Like, those things are okay. But as you get older, you realize, like, this is not fun. This is just, there's a lot happening. So I think it's fun when I'm drunk. You know?
Think? Well, I think it's good for like once or twice a week.
Depends on the girl.
True.
It depends. Well,
I thought we were talking about cars.
For the girl, it depends on the guy. We are talking about cars. We're talking about all things.
All things.
You don't want to watch an action movie every fucking day.
Hell no.
You don't want to watch explosions and fucking missiles. You want to watch like Step Brothers.
Yeah,
man.
Watch
something fun.
Mix it up.
Mix it up.
Listen, I love ice cream, but I want vanilla every day.
That's right. Mixing it up is big, and that's with people, with everything, right?
Everything, man. We were talking about it off the air. People get too comfortable.
Mm-hmm. They do.
I'm never comfortable.
You know, one of the things that's been freaking me out lately, not freaking me out, but it's been like, I've been like wondering on it. Like on my message board, sometimes I'll have a guest, and then I'll read like after the podcast that like for like, it's almost like half and half sometimes. Like I had this guy, Milo Yiannopoulos, on the other day. Hilarious guy. He's a gay guy. He's a blogger, really funny blogger, lives in England, and he was over here from London. And some people loved the podcast. Some people fucking hated it. Worst podcast ever. This was shit. Oh my God, this was hilarious. I love that guy. He's so entertaining. I want to drown him in a toilet bowl. It's like, you can't.
That's what you want, though.
Yeah, you kind of.
Right? That's kind of what you want. That you want. As long as they're talking about it, you're good.
You cannot make it's not possible to make everyone happy. It does. The only person who ever made everyone happy was Bill Cosby. He was the only guy. I'm not joking. He was the only guy.
He didn't.
You're right, he didn't. But he was the only guy that for a long time you never heard a goddamn bad thing about.
Nah, those Jell-O commercials piss me off, man. And that bullshit sweater all the time. Blacken up.
He was so good as a comic and so good as the host of his show, and the Cosby Show was so well done that literally no one spoke ill of him. And all the while, he's drugging chicks and raping them.
Dude.
But he might be the only guy. There's like a few, like Anthony Hopkins. You know, there's a few actors.
But no one knows him. You know what I'm saying?
Knows
like, I feel
him,
like
knows
we,
him.
yeah,
Right.
I feel like we know Bill Cosby, or we thought we did.
We thought we did.
I feel like Jay Leno's one of those guys.
In what way?
Most people love Jay Leno. Like, you don't hear a bad thing about Jay. Really?
Oh, that's so not true.
Am I way off on this?
Oh, yeah, you're so off.
What?
Yeah.
Jay Leno?
First of all, I love
Well,
Jay
Dave
Leno.
Letterman might hate him.
Not just Dave Letterman, but there was a bunch of fans of Conan O'Brien. There was a whole situation where Conan took over the Tonight Show,
that.
and then remember Jay Leno had a show before him, and then it became like this crazy thing where the Tonight Show wasn't doing so well.
Well, this is like Cosby raping bitches. Before that, before we knew that.
People still didn't like him, man.
Really?
Yeah. There was
Maybe
certain,
it was my house.
First of all,
the Schaubs love Jay Leno.
Yeah.
My household loved him.
What state was this again?
Denver.
Yeah, Denver, Colorado. That sounds
Yeah,
about
man.
right.
We love us some
Especially
Jay Leno.
pre-weed.
Yeah,
pre-weed being legal, Denver,
thought he was
Colorado.
hilarious.
That was like living on a farm with really good electricity. That's like being on a ranch somewhere. Some people that had a satellite dish. But I think there was a lot of people from the Howard Stern group. Like for stand-up comics, Jay Leno at one point in time was like one of the top comics in the country.
For sure.
Real edgy.
Yeah.
Real edgy when he was young. He would go on David Letterman, be like this like super edgy guy. And then for some comics, they felt like when he started hosting the Tonight Show, he kind of became more middle America and became more. But he did it. It's like it was a calculated move on his part.
Smart move, really.
It was a smart move financially.
He's more corporate, you're saying, right? Kind of sold out.
Oh, 100%
Yeah.
corporate. 100% corporate. When we say sold out, I don't know, because I think people who like what he's doing still think what he's doing is great. He just found a broader market that maybe might not appeal to like younger, more hardcore people the way a real sharp guy like Letterman or maybe Conan. Conan has some of the best writers in all of late night.
I love Conan.
Yeah, especially like when he was on in the late night show in New York. He had like my buddy used to work for him. I got to see like one of their very first shows. You know how they have like we're having this banter back and forth because we're just talking.
Yeah,
we're two
just
friends,
bullshitting,
just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
When it would appear that they were doing that, but behind them there was placards that had every word they were supposed to say. So their conversations were fake.
What?
Yeah. They had a fake conversation. So they'd be I went to the zoo yesterday.
So someone's holding up zoo.
Yep, right behind him. They had everything was rehearsed and everything was pre-planned. And eventually he got away from that. And I think in the beginning they were nervous because he was a writer, and so he really didn't have a lot of performance experience.
Because he wrote for Saturday Night Live and Simpsons, right? Is that correct?
I believe so.
Pretty sure
I don't know, but I know he's
a beast,
super
man.
respected writer and a really funny guy. And the thought was that he was the guy that was like always really funny in the room. Like when he would meet with executives and writers, he was like the funny guy, like a really strong, intelligent, funny guy. And they're like, this guy should be a host of a fucking show. And then they decided to, build it up and make it work. But in the beginning, they literally, it's probably micromanagement on the network side. They were probably just fucking with his show too much. They didn't just allow it to
scared.
be what it is. Yeah, sure. They're taking a big chance,
huge risk,
having him there. So it was weird that I don't remember what my original point was, but their conversation, this is what it was. Their conversation was written out. So it was like the writers, like really sharp dudes that were trying to, and then they came up with all these different like characters and reoccurring themes and everything that they would use on the show, and it became like a real cohesive thing. And then when he went to the Tonight Show, they changed the show. Like all of a sudden he was doing like the Tonight Show. It's like the whole thing was different. The feel was different.
You got to do what got you to the dance.
Not only that, when they did it, Jay Leno was #1. Like when they had Jay Leno step out and they put Conan O'Brien in, I think they probably, they have these weird things where they base it on how old people are. Like if you're old as fuck, they don't want you, because old people don't spend any money. They want those 18 to 34-year-old men who are single.
That's the demographic.
That's the real money. The real money is in young dudes who spend money on stupid shit, and they're probably easily influenced by commercials. So they just fucking
shit. I know I am. Fucking. So I see those KFC commercials. They fucking go.
But there was also this thing where the Howard Stern show was pissed at him, and Howard Stern was pissed at Jay Leno because someone, whoever it was on the Jay Leno writing staff, most likely, was ripping off ideas from the Howard Stern show. Yeesh. Allegedly. I've never examined this, but I remember Howard being really pissed about it, and he's not unreasonable when it comes to stuff like that. It doesn't make sense.
Howard's a powerful dude, too.
Well, yeah, I think also, like, sometimes writers do shit like that, man. That's happened, like, a gang at times with stand-ups. Like, writers will come to see you perform, and then they turn your bits into, like, a part in a sitcom. That happened to Kevin James. I witnessed it. I saw the whole thing. It's happened to several guys on a bunch of different shows.
Bummer.
Well, you know what it is. Like, say if you're a writer, you're a young kid from fucking Cleveland, and you get a gig writing for the Chris D'Elia's show, right? You got to be funny.
You have some demands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got some fucking demands. And some of these guys will come to comedy clubs, and they'll just pilfer ideas.
It's a bad idea, man. It means you're shitty at your job.
It does, but it also means you're trying to get by. Fake it till you make it, Brendan Schaub.
But you can't fake it off other people's ideas, though. Because
I
eventually
agree.
you're going to get caught up.
I agree. I think a lot of them
There's no longevity in that.
They think they're not going to get caught up.
True.
They think they're just going to get away with it. Just do it now, and then I'm really good. They just don't know it.
Unless Joe Rogan sees that shit.
Or anybody now, you know. When we put out that YouTube video of the Mencia thing, that was a long ass time ago.
Dude, I just saw that like a couple months ago. That shit was awkward as fuck. So awkward. Why'd you get on stage like that?
Well, I was on stage before him.
I know.
You know the whole
and then
story?
he's coming up, right?
He actually wasn't supposed to be on. He took the microphone away from the guy who was next. The guy who was next is this guy, Kurt Fox.
He just deboed him. He's like, give me the mic, punk.
Yeah, because I had brought him up as a writer, because Kurt used to write for Carlos, and I said he was a writer for Carlos Mencia. And so that was it. That was it. It was a straw that broke the camel's back.
But then you jump up there, and then he's
Well,
like,
was saying,
he goes, I have the mic.
Yeah.
What you don't realize, dummy, is I have the mic. And you're like, give me a fucking mic.
Yeah.
Then you get the mic. And then shut that shit down.
Once
is he still alive?
Yes, he's alive.
Is he still alive? Did you have him killed?
No, he's alive.
Did the UFC mafia get to him? Is he buried somewhere? Is he dead?
He's out there doing stand-up still.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's doing his own shit. You know? The problem with those guys one of the big problems is when you steal, you don't learn what it takes to come up with like I got a couple bits right now that they might die. I'm looking at them. They're like bad dogs.
They're
like dogs with broken hips. I'm like, I have to put this motherfucker down. This is a horse with a broken leg.
See ya.
I'm trying to think if I should fix the bit or if I should just tank it.
That's the battle, though, right? That's what makes you great.
It's the only way to make a bit good. You got to bring that motherfucker out to the light of day, and you got to tweak it and roll it. And there's some times that bits just don't seem like they're gonna make it, and sometimes you got to let them go.
But that's why you're making a living as a comedian, and then Carlos Mencia's like, fuck, man.
Well, he's still making a living. He still probably does really well.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, he's a name. You know, he can go to weird spots and do comedy clubs and still probably do pretty good. But the reality is, you know, when you do that, when you steal, you usually steal because there's a different mindset for a plagiarist than there is for someone who's creative. And I think the mindset of someone who's a plagiarist is the mindset of it's all about me. It's about me getting this stuff, and then I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be a bad motherfucker. It's about me. Whereas I think the mindset of someone who's more creative is all about whatever the idea is. And you're just sort of like a train to get the idea to the people.
Well, I think if you're creative too, you see an idea and you're like, well, you view it from a different filter. Does that make sense?
Maybe.
Like I can see, well, people can see an idea and view it from a different filter. I'm like, I think this is the funny way. Like this angle might be funnier.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I mean, it really depends entirely on the idea. But I think the big factor, one of the big factors is ego. And if you have a big ego, it can help you and it can fuck you. It can do both. It can help you, and it gives you like the courage and the belief in yourself, even if it doesn't even make any sense, to try something that's very difficult to do.
That's huge, man.
It is big.
That's huge. At our first live show, the first 8-9 minutes was me by myself.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
That was the bit.
What?
It was
You
me by
started
myself.
it off?
Yeah.
Whose idea was this?
Both of ours.
Why would you want to do that?
It went awesome, man. You're talking about egos. You're talking about egos. It went great, man.
Well, people loved you.
Yeah, I
They
killed
came
it.
there to see you.
Yeah, it went
They loved
great,
you.
man.
So you did stand-up.
Yeah, basically like told a story.
Whoa.
Yeah, and had this whole bit, and people
Dude,
were cracking up.
you've done stand-up. Your first stand-up was in front of a live audience
out, bro,
that
yeah.
was a podcast.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was
You did
awesome, man.
Your first stand-up ever is on the internet.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's nuts.
Well, we're not releasing it though.
Oh, you haven't released it?
We're not gonna. People want to release it.
What?
I'll release my stand-up portion,
Right?
but we want to make it special for the live fans. People hate that.
Why would you want to do that? It already was special for them. They probably want to hear it again. And then a bunch of other people want to hear it too.
But yeah, so come to the other live shows. We're doing all these
no,
tours. No, you think we should release
no.
it live?
Is this your idea
now-
or Callen's idea?
Well, probably mine.
Yeah. I was thinking it was too retarded to be yours. I thought it was. I thought it was Callen's.
This is my only thing we have to talk about right now on here. Is your idea of Callen's?
I honestly think it's special for
Like,
those
I want it
people because they're
special
there
for the
live.
live, yeah.
But they're there live. It's already special for them. They probably want to hear it again. There's probably a lot of people that were there that said that was a really good time. I would love to hear that again in my commute. And then there's other people that weren't there. Was you going to punish them because they couldn't get to Brea?
Them,
That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, man.
I'm punishing
You got a
people.
recording. Release the hounds. Unless you're thinking about
People are
doing.
gonna jump all over this now. I was getting so much heat.
Yeah, you should release it 100%.
Well, fuck, now I have to, don't I?
Well, you just should. It's good. If it's good, you should release it.
It's great
Then you should definitely release it. Why not release it?
because we're doing a nationwide tour.
Good. Keep doing
I feel like
that.
it would bring more people to the actual live
No,
events.
they're going to come anyway. Don't worry
Really?
about it. Yes. God, what are you worried about? There's 350 million people out there. You can't. What you need to do is clone yourselves and have more shows and do them in more spots.
Yeah.
What you don't need to worry about is people not showing up at a spot because they heard a live, unless the live podcast sucks. If you come up with a dud, you do have that advantage. That if you come up with a dud, you can tank it. Like if for whatever reason it just goes awful.
just
somebody-
just bombs.
But
Like
then
come
you
in
should probably,
hungover or
if you have an
something.
excuse. No, if someone has to roofie you or something before the show.
They could.
You never
Crazy
know.
girl.
Just start talking.
I'll tell you what, man. We did live questions, and usually we filter them. Some girl, I've never been on stage really. It's bright as fuck. They give the mic some girl. She goes, Schaub, do you remember me? I proposed to you 4 years ago at the UFC Expo, and you said yes. Where the fuck's my ring? It's like, what the fuck? I'm trying to look. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Moving on. Next question. Brendan, what do you think of? And it's some Ronda Rousey question. Next question.
Oh,
Brendan,
no.
how much would Reebok? Next question.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
See,
though. Mix it up, man.
I get that, though. So you're involved in a lot of controversial shit.
Not really.
very
Oh, you
high
mean
level.
telling the truth? Oh, you mean being honest?
Yes.
You mean being honest?
Don't you think that's controversial?
I guess it is for an athlete. I guess I'm supposed
Yeah.
to be this fucking cookie cutter and get in line, and it's just, I don't know.
Well, you just have terrible PR skills, and it turns out it works.
Depends how you look at it.
What is PR, though? It's public relations. See, that's where they're wrong, because your public relations skills are awesome, because everybody knows you don't really have a very good filter.
No filter.
Your filter's like a bunch of string in front of a river trying to keep the salmon out. It's like, you need more than that. They're going to get through that. They go over rocks. You know what I mean?
You gotta have more than that, man.
Just like a moment of pause where they get to the string and they go, what am I doing here?
Dude,
Okay,
I
I'm
don't know
going-
what to do. Someone asked me a question, I'm like, I can't
yourself.
fucking.
Don't worry about it. You're a good guy.
Yeah, I
If you're-
try.
If you're a good guy, just be yourself. Yeah.
If you're a good guy and you're telling the truth, I don't see why why you wouldn't just keep doing it. Like, I was training the other day, and this guy came up to me and goes, man, dude, I love what you do. You know, you give me motivation to do some outside fighting, blah, blah, blah.
But-
he goes, but he goes, I wish I could talk about some stuff. You do it, man.
Oh, he wishes he could do what
Yeah,
you do.
yeah,
Oh,
he goes,
that's
I
not
wish.
really the same kind of butt.
Yeah, he just goes, I wish. He goes, I wish, I just can't. Like,
Some
why,
people,
man?
well, he might not be able to now. And the road for him to get to the point where he can is long. But people, people always think that they are who they used to be. Does that make sense? It's like people look at themselves. Like, say if you were a loser in high school and you fuck. There's a lot of people that are haunted by high school for like their whole life.
Or certain events. Yeah, it doesn't have-
certain
whatever
events.
it
Like
is,
that's why
for
being
sure.
that's why being bullied is so dangerous to some people, because if they get really fucked with by people and tormented by people in high school, that shit can carry over the rest of their life. It devastates their confidence. So in their early developmental period, they have this really poor self-image, and having a poor self-image is fucking super hard to get over. It's
Agreed,
really hard.
100%. Well, you know, I've talked about it before on this. I've basically body dysmorphia, which is fucking crazy, man, because I'm in great shape. But it happened in college. I had this girlfriend for a long time, and I had this huge event. I was getting ready to try out for all these NFL teams. And the night before, I was going through all my mental stuff on how I was going to do, and I put on exactly what I was going to wear. And it's you don't know how to act and eat like a pro, but I did it for, 4 months, and I was like feeling good. I'm like, damn, dude, I look like an NFL guy right now. This is how an NFL guy looks.
Right.
And at my girlfriend, I go, what do you think? How'd I look? And she goes, you look a little soft. You look soft. You look kind of chubby.
Whoa. One girl got you.
Got me. I was literally like, ever since then, man.
Wow.
Gave me a fucking.
Do you think did she date some bodybuilders before you or something? Some dudes who cut weight and eat oats?
I don't know. I think she was just trying to be honest. Maybe she didn't have a filter. I don't know, man. Maybe that bitch didn't have a filter.
Well, did you look then?
Kicked her to the curb.
Did you immediately for calling you soft?
Shortly after that, very shortly.
But you were like, what?
Beat it, nerd. But ever since then, I was like, damn. And then it fucked with my confidence the next day. I was like, oh shit.
That can do that. That
100%,
can do that.
man.
Yeah, if you let it in. I think it's like snake venom. Like you get a little bite, every now and then. I think it's good for you. You got to understand what's happening when someone's insulting you. You got to understand, you know. And sometimes they're just being honest with you.
True.
And there's a time for that. But that was not the time for that.
That was
you had a fucking big audition.
Fuck, not the time for
big
it.
tryouts, big games, big event the next day.
Biggest time of my life ever at the time is a huge event.
And she's telling you you're soft.
It's tough, man.
That's a mean bitch.
It's tough.
Did you guys have fights before this? Was she mad about something else?
I mean, I'm sure I was a shitty boyfriend. Did I have another girlfriend at the time? Yeah, I did. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I was a bad guy. Well, I'm not a bad guy. I'm in college.
You were young.
We're not going to get married. Yeah.
Young, dumb, and full of cum. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what it is, right? That's why
right.
that expression exists.
Yeah, man.
When you say
I've
young,
never heard it
dumb, and
before.
full, you never heard young, dumb, and full of cum?
No.
Oh my God, that's an old
Have
one.
you?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, Jamie has. That's old. He's heard it from me 100 times.
Yeah, there you go. It's before Rogan,
No,
though?
yeah, for sure. It's not mine.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was around when I was in high school. But you
Maybe
know,
it's some old school shit.
I think it's some old school
Yeah.
shit. But it's new school too, because I've heard it from people recently.
If someone would have told me that in college or high school, I'm like, damn, that's aggressive, man. Super aggressive.
But correct.
Full cum. Jesus Christ.
I know, right? It's like you're
trying to
goddamn
live
overflow.
here. Yeah.
But when you say that, nobody goes, I don't even understand. Everybody goes, yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah, 100%. That was me.
I was thinking about myself in high school the other day for whatever reason. You know how like sometimes you have this weird moment where you just think like, wow, well, what was it like to be like, if I had to go and do that again, what was it really like? What are my memories of it, and what was it really like? Because my memories of it were all like, always nervous, fucking never confident, always
Really?
weirded out. Yeah. Trying to get away from everybody. Always just, I was weird.
You're that kid?
Oh, so weirded. I was accepted because I fit in like the way I looked fit in.
Yeah.
I
That's
looked
what I was
like
gonna
an
say.
athlete, but I didn't know anything about sports. I didn't know no sports, and all I wanted to do was kickbox. That's all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do was taekwondo and kickbox.
That'd been tough back then.
I was such a weirdo. That's all I did all day. I was always insecure. Everything but that. Like when I did that, I was super confident. Like I knew I was really good at that. So there was like one thing I couldn't wait to do and get the fuck away from people.
What about girls?
I had a couple girlfriends. I did all right. I was a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hard.
I'm just-
But I wasn't very good socially. Not for sure. Wasn't good at it. Like I wasn't really good at that until I calmed down. Like I don't think I was even that good socially when I started doing stand-up. I think I got way better at it because I realized I need to. But I was like, one of the things that I was thinking when I first started doing it was like, man, I wish I would just go back to competing, because in competing I didn't need anybody's approval. Like I kind of liked it if you didn't like me. I kind of liked it if there's a bunch of people cheering against me. I was like, just wait to see what I do.
Yeah, like just wait, motherfucker.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. It's just going to give me some more motivation. It's going to give me some more intensity. But with comedy, everybody has to like you, and then you realize like you're not that likable.
They
like
have
just
to, though.
Yeah, but like sometimes like things we do, like things a person does, you do to be successful, but you're not thinking in terms of like being liked. Like I always wondered about like guys who are extreme winners, guys like Lance Armstrong or guys like Michael Jordan, and they get reputations of being not very good guys or very nice guys or maybe greedy. Like you always hear that about Jordan. He doesn't tip. Selfish.
Yeah, man.
And you got to think, like a guy like that is so focused on this one thing. He's so focused on winning. He's so focused on just beating everyone down, and it's all about him and him getting ahead. You're so focused on that. So you're not thinking about how other people are perceiving you, because you're like, fuck them. I'm coming in there to dunk on their face.
Yeah, man. That's what greatness requires. That's what I learned through my journey of athletics. The best players I ever played with, they weren't the friendliest. The best fighters who I trained with, or best fighters that I ran with, God, not the friendliest, man.
But George is. St. Pierre? St. Pierre's a super fucking friendly guy. He's like one of those weird exceptions.
George is super friendly. Super friendly. I wouldn't say George is the most out. There's always something. George might be the exception. George is a very cerebral fighter. I wouldn't say George isn't the most outgoing guy. You know what I'm saying? Like George is kind of an introverted soul. Well, he was picked on as a kid and stuff like that. He's different. A lot of the super winners, they're just different, man. And it's something, maybe they're born with that, or some event in their life happened or something like that, and they're just these ultra winners. And I could never relate to it. I got to be honest.
I wonder if being like that, it's the only way you become an ultra winner if you just think about the winning only. You can't be this like really social butterfly person that just goes around and makes friends with everybody. You got to be some driven psycho that's getting up at 4:30 and running up hills.
Yeah, man. And then you mix that with talent. Now you got fucking the greatness.
Yeah.
That's where the greatness comes from, man.
Yeah. You know, I had a crazy conversation with BJ Penn the other night. I just got a text out of the blue from BJ. Called BJ up, and BJ and I were talking about all sorts of shit, and he was talking to this friend of his who got his black belt in 4 years. You know, BJ got his black belt in 3.5 years.
Yeah, which was crazy.
Crazy. So the guy, you know, and BJ talking, and BJ goes, "Wow, that's amazing! Congratulations! You must be really talented." And he goes, "No," he goes, "I'm addicted." He goes, "I'm addicted to jiu-jitsu, just like you. You were addicted too." And BJ sat back. He goes, "I never thought about it that way." And then he goes, "I realized, yeah, I was addicted.
Yeah, man.
That's why I got my black belt in 3.5 years. I was addicted."
Yeah.
We were laughing. He was talking about how he's addicted to like Final Fantasy. You ever play that game?
I have, in like 8th grade. He plays that shit?
He got at one point in time though, he got addicted to that game. And
That's how. But again, that's how these crazy successful people are. There is no 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
It's fucking all in, man, and nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
That might be my problem, Joe.
You're too nice. But on occasionally, like I watched that Crow Cop fight the other day. You weren't very nice in that fight. That was not nice.
You know,
you were super aggressive in that fight.
I was. You know what's weird, man, is like I watched the Alexander and DC fight where it's back and forth. And I used to get inspired by those, right? I used to watch a great fight, and as soon as they ended, I'd hit the ground running. Well, I love to run. I would just run.
Yeah.
That's how I dealt with being nervous and what's next for me. I'd just start fucking running. Now when I see that stuff, I think first about their health. I'm like, damn, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
And I felt that change in me, and I'm like, that's not good.
Yeah. That's not good.
That's not good. Because don't get me wrong, I still appreciate a great fight. I fucking love fighting. I don't miss a fight. I view it different now. Instead of thinking that was an amazing fight, I think, man, I hope they're okay. Hopefully they're not too injured. And what's next after this? Even if you win the belt, all right, man, what's after this? Because I've friends who have won belts, and you know they're not fucking killing it these days.
It seems like like it's one of those things where you just have to be able to put aside any thoughts of the damage that you're doing to yourself. You got to be able to just do it. And now as soon as you start taking into consideration the damage, it becomes that extra factor. It becomes that extra thing that you have to think about, you know, that can fuck with, and also that thing that can fuck with greatness. Like we were talking about greatness is like this obsession plus talent, dedication, and drive. But then you add the variable of fear of injury. Or or playing conservative to avoid injury.
I agree. I think I was obsessed with fighting, and I think if you ask anyone who trained with me or one of my coaches, man, hardest worker in the room, Schaub. By far, I was crazy. But then when it came time to fight, you ever seen the old school RoboCop where he's about to attack someone? It's like calculating, and it's like fucking 70% gun here. That's how my fucking mind works, man. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like my last fight, I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, I know here he throws this. I know he's gonna kick.
So you're
here.
thinking too much.
I'm thinking too much. I'm too cerebral. I'm thinking way too much. Well, they're probably not like that. They're going.
They're in the zone.
They're in the zone. They're fighters. They're going.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
Well, it's one of the most difficult things I think for people to do is to get in that zone, to figure out that place that you get to where you're just relying on all of your training and you're just there.
Instincts. That happened to me once.
Once.
Gabriel Gonzaga.
Really? Only once?
Only once. I don't know why. Could not tell you why.
Wow.
But I remember that fight, just everything was slow motion. I didn't hear the crowd. Everything you threw, I already saw coming. And it was just like this white noise. That's the one time I've been in the zone. Never got in the zone in football, really. Maybe once. But fighting, it's a freaking, to get there, man, is unreal.
Well, it's different. It's like if you get in the zone with playing ping pong, the loss of getting in the zone, it's not dangerous to your health.
Yeah.
Like the thing about fighting that makes it different than anything else, even more difficult than jiu-jitsu, because jiu-jitsu is nerve-wracking. And when you watch two guys going at it and they're trying to kill each other, they're nervous as fuck before that, you know? But they're not as worried about injury. It's a different kind of injury. Because the jiu-jitsu injury, you might get choked, you might get your arm snapped. It is possible you get hurt. I mean, you could always...
Embarrassed, really.
Yeah, or you could land wrong, fuck your knee up, or fuck your neck up. It does happen. It is possible. But MMA or kickboxing, anything along those lines, Muay Thai. You know, I watched this Muay Thai knockout the other day. Oh, my God, it was fucking insane. Some guy from Thailand, I wish I knew who it was because it was an animated GIF that someone sent me. And this dude hits this guy with he's got him in the Thai clinch. He hits these guys with this fucking ridiculous knees to the body, like 3. Boom, boom, boom. And they go into the ropes, and the dude hits him with a flying knee that is just the most perfectly timed flying knee. Snaps his head back. His body goes limp, and he just slides against the ropes and down to the ground. But it was just the poetry of it and the explosiveness of it, that just boom, 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 and he flies through the air, bang, hits him in the flying knee. Like, the fact that could happen to you when you get in there with a guy who's training how to, I mean, you're just like hoping he doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, well, especially this day and age. You know, I was watching the last UFC. And that what's his, I forget his first name, the Rodriguez fella.
Yair
and the Northcutt.
Yeah.
I watched Northcutt. I watched Yair Rodriguez. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, you know what the difference is?
What the fuck is going on?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo plus,
those
but Northcutt's
have all the other shit too.
Northcutt was this small. I did some research on this kid.
Oh, yeah.
He's this small. His dad has him fucking doing all this crazy stuff. I'm like, that's the future, man. And then I watched two... you know, I'm not going to say their names. I watched 2 other guys who, you know, we're kind of in the same class. They're a little older than me. I watched them fight. After watching Rodriguez and Northcutt and then watching them fight, I'm like, I'm watching, I go, that's how I fight, man. That's, what? It looked like you fucking went, Throwback Thursday in the middle of the card. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are just boxing, wrestling.
Right.
And then you see these young guys, and it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that, what is his name? Magomedov, the Russian dude that fought Sean Jordan?
Yes.
God damn, that guy can throw some fucking kicks. You see that front leg question mark kick he was hitting him with?
Yes, but it's more of a Taekwondo point scoring. Like, no one's going to be scared of those.
Well,
I fight
even
that guy,
his
it's like,
punches.
yeah, the kicks, cool, great.
Even his punches. I mean, he's
all
like
of it's
slapping
point,
you.
He's moving. He's going to be in trouble when he gets in there with a killer.
Maybe.
Not that Jordan's not a killer, but a guy who can deal with that.
Maybe.
And hits for, because that heavyweight, I was almost a little bit of a point scorer where I had so much footwork and I'd touch and move. When you get a heavyweight who's going to, okay, touch, whack. Like,
right.
hits like a heavyweight is when you get in trouble being a lighter heavyweight.
Maybe. What is he, 240? He's not lighter.
He was 236, I think.
Was he?
That'd be a lighter heavyweight. Anything under 240 I consider
Kane?
lighter.
Kane's 240, and he carries a roll of fat on him.
Now, would you say Kane's a knockout artist? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't say he's a knockout artist, but you wouldn't want to get hit by him.
But Kane's also
dangerous.
not a guy who stands outside and points, moves.
Right. No.
He gets an underhook, puts his head in your chest, and makes you do it. Does work. Goes
Totally
to work.
true.
Completely different fighter.
Magomedov seems to fight like more strategically, avoid damage first, and then land shots and don't drain your gas tank.
I agree, which is smart at heavyweight.
Yeah. So he's
to
like,
a certain point. Because then you're going to get a guy who's not going to play that game.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens to him as he moves up. You know, we'll see. What I'm impressed with is his technique, though.
I agree. His counter-punching was nasty.
That question mark kick does not have a lot of power behind it. That's a fact. But the fact that he throws it like that off of his front leg, Like, for folks who don't know how hard that is to do, that requires like some crazy dexterity, and to see that from a heavyweight is pretty rare.
For the listeners, most people will know Donald Cerrone for throwing it. Donald throws it a lot.
He throws it a lot.
But for a heavyweight to do it, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and Donald doesn't throw it that much off his front leg though. Donald, he can.
Yeah.
He certainly can.
But yeah, he'll use the back.
But that guy was throwing it like a whip off his front leg. It was coming up and then swap. But just there wasn't much behind it.
That'd be his footwork, everything. His cardio's great, counterpunching dope, everything. But you're gonna a heavyweight where they're gonna make it count.
Sean Jordan is tough as fuck, man. You know, he broke his rib in that first round. He just went back to his corner and said, "My rib's broken." You never saw it from his effort. You know, he never laid back, never put his arm over it, never tried to protect it. He had to gut it out while that guy was staying on the outside, landing combinations.
Yeah, that main event saved that card for sure. That main event was amazing.
Those guys like Sage Northcutt, though, and here's another one, Wonderboy Thompson. Wonderboy is the motherfucker right now.
He's a motherfucker.
Because everybody, like in the beginning, it was about taking him down and grappling with him. But now that he's been spending so much time with Weidman, he's learning how to grapple, learning grappling defense correctly. You're going to see more of what you saw in the Ellenberger fight. Guys that are forced to stand up with him.
True. Enjoy that.
Have a good time.
You're
fighting a snake.
Can we call him Wonder Man, though? I think he's 34, 35. Like, what the fuck? Is there any way we can change that, Wonder Man?
He can keep it.
Yeah,
he keeps wheel kicking people in the head. He can keep it.
Does he have anything coming up?
I don't know. I don't know who he's fighting. He got surgery. I know.
The first person to bring him in was Nate Marquardt in Denver. Nate met him through, I think, a church thing, whatever how that goes. So brought him down, and he's just this badass in the gym, but had zero grappling. But standing with him was a fucking nightmare. Yeah. And then Nate told George about him, and then we see Thompson up north, and he starts getting his grappling in. And then when he got to the UFC. He was doing well with matchups, and then he got Matt Brown, right? Yeah. That's when he got in trouble.
Yeah, Matt Brown beat him up, and he also was overtrained for that fight. He said he came in that fight real flat, and he knew he was in trouble even before Matt Brown. He's like not taking anything away from Matt Brown. He goes, I just could not recover.
It was a back-and-forth fight. Yeah, back and forth.
He survived, though. He made it to the third round.
He's a beast, man. That kid's one to watch for sure.
Now he's so nasty.
I agree.
But what those guys can do, guys like him, guys like Yair, and Sage Northcutt, rather. Sage Northcutt has that front leg kick that he throws, and he is very unusual because he stands orthodox and throws his front leg side kick off his left leg, and it's a really good front leg side kick.
So you've seen his previous fights. Was he 7-0?
Yeah, 7-0.
So you saw the previous fights where he got in the UFC. I haven't seen anything besides.
I've seen a few of his fights.
Okay,
I've been watching him for a while. I've been hearing about him for a while too. But what he's got is an unusual. He's got a very high level of like karate and kickboxing and taekwondo, very high level of taekwondo skill, but then also ridiculous athleticism. Like he does front flips.
That's what I see out of him. And his athleticism is different than most.
Front flips and lands on the tips of his toes and like gently comes down to his heel. It's not like a clumsy bounce. It's like this effortless flip where he knows exactly where the ground is.
Yeah, I stalked his Instagram. I saw him doing some crazy shit, like carrying wheels and shit up sand hills. He's just a freak.
Look at this flip. I mean, it's like some moon landing shit. That looks fake.
He looks like a model too.
He looks like
what the fuck is going on?
Paige Van Zandt if she was a boy.
Those two need to procreate.
No, they don't. That would be like some Uber race. Look at how he does that. Doesn't even seem real. That literally looks like someone's got wires attached to his hip.
That is insane.
Like if you showed this to Eddie Bravo and put some chemtrails behind it, he would be absolutely convinced.
He's going off for an hour for Northcutt and Octopus right now. But dude, you know he's a student at Texas A&M.
Oh,
he's talking about dropping out to do fighting full time.
Probably
man.
Should.
Nah, no way. Whoa.
You're saying that because of pussy?
Yeah, Texas A&M.
No,
Johnny Manziel used to run that bitch.
He's fine.
Now it's you, Mr. Northcutt.
I don't think he needs any help. I think it's probably better if he takes breaks. Nah. Just a break every now and then.
You know, I think he's uber religious. So I don't think he even cares about that.
That's not good. That'll build up. Kid needs an outlet.
Yeah, those flips won't be happening like that after a while, man.
Well, a body like that needs to fuck.
You got to unload that dick.
Yeah, you got to unload that dick. That dick has to be exercised just like those quads.
100%. Don't sleep on that dick, Northcutt.
His wrestling's good too, though. I mean, he's not like the best in the world at anything, but altogether it's a nasty package.
He's good at everything, and his athleticism is going to carry him so far.
And he's only 19. I mean,
Yes.
like, he's going to be so much better in a month.
You know what's a little scary being 19 and being in the UFC already is you can be champion with it, but let's say he loses 3 in a row.
Well, that's not what's scary to me is that he gets overmatched quickly. But
That's what I'm saying.
we don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
We don't know if that even can. Like, look at Michael McDonald. Michael McDonald, 19 years old, fought Miguel Torres. Dude, McDonald, before he lost to Uriah Faber and before he lost to Renan Barão, was a motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Right? Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Isn't that a perfect? It's a perfect example. He
It
can't,
is, but
he can't do
you're-
what this kid can do, like with flips and stuff. But Michael McDonald knocks motherfuckers into oblivion
Straight
with his
out.
punches.
Where's Michael McDonald right now? When's the last time we heard from Michael
He's
McDonald?
been injured.
For how long?
He
2
got-
years?
I think he got hurt pretty bad. I don't know what the injury was. I don't even know if
He was a
discloses it.
motherfucker
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, he's been
I'm
out
just
for a
saying the
while.
only thing that scares me is like if we reference boxing. So a 19-year-old's going to have how many amateur fights? Fucking 300
A lot.
before they get to turn pro, right? This is we're seeing Northcutt's amateur career right now,
Right.
with only 7 fights. What the fuck? 7 fights ain't shit.
Well, that's-
so let's say he wins 3 and he's a star. Hey, my man, or you win 2 more and you're
Yeah.
a star. Hey, bro, there's nowhere to go. We have to toss you to these monsters. There's no build-ups for 3 years. Trust me.
Yeah, you would know. That's an interesting point.
That's what's tough about the sport. Like Paige, right? She's phenomenal. She looks great, speaks great. She
Yep.
has skills. Cool, man. Let's build this up. She can be your 115-pound champ. But she's won what, 2 or 3 now? All right. Well, in that women's division's so thin, we're gonna have to throw you some motherfuckers.
Well, how about the motherfucker? She's ranked 7th. At the top of the list is a goddamn murderer.
Straight up murder.
Joanna's a murderer. She's a murderer. I mean, she
Might be the best striker.
assassinates.
Definitely top 5 best strikers in the UFC, I'd say.
She murks chicks. She murks them. She does some horrible shit to them.
Straight up.
Yeah. And so I think, like, when you look at her, all right, before she gets into MMA, she's a 6-time world Muay Thai champion. That's her amateur background.
Exactly.
What she had to learn was just takedown defense, defend yourself on the ground, and figure out how to get back up to your feet. That's what Crow Cop had to learn in Pride.
Yep.
You know, and I think when you deal with someone like Gennady Golovkin, perfect example, he's had like a fuckload of amateur boxing fights.
Insane amount.
Insane amount.
He turned pro at like late 20s.
And then he goes into the pros, and these guys just can't fucking compete with him.
Because he's ready.
He's so ready. He's on
his time.
such another level. His technique is so sharp. And on top of that, he's gets just this stupid punching power that everybody's terrified
Now,
of.
would we see Triple G, the superstar that he is now, if at 19 we said, all right, you got to go pro? Boom, get it.
That's a good question.
It's tough, right? But the thing is, it's no one's fault. That's the infancy of the UFC. That's
Right.
just where we're at. But
Yeah.
for someone like Paige and Northcutt, like with Northcutt, if I sat down, I'm like, dude, they offer you a top 10 guy. No, man, you're
Yeah.
good. You're
Yeah.
good. I'm telling you, bro. I called out fucking Brock Lesnar after I beat fucking Gabriel Gonzaga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, what? I wish someone had been like, yo, Schaub, chill, man. This isn't a fucking sprint here. We got to jog, my man.
The boxing system's like super established. You know,
That's what I'm saying. It's
been
no
around
one's
for
fault.
so long.
It's no one's fault.
But everybody knows how to do it. Like, they know, like, when a guy gets to a certain level, like, you know, Terrence Crawford or something like that,
Yeah.
like, you give the guy some tests along the way, but you realize early on, okay, you're dealing with a really talented guy. This is what we're going to do. We're going to slowly build him up with some tougher and tougher fighters, and we're going to see where he's at. And we're going to sit down. Like, that's why trainers like Freddie Roach are so invaluable, because they sit down, they watch as these guys are fighting. They go, we got to get him with a guy who's a body puncher, and we need to see what happens. When
Sure.
he gets pressured, we're going to give him a test in this fight. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to build your fighter up. Whereas what happens in MMA, there's no like long-term structure, and there's no amateur structure that's like comparable to what boxing has. So it's really hard for people to get built up to the point where they come into the pro ranks with a very high degree of skill, unless they come from a different discipline.
Wrestling. That's
Like
why I was gonna say,
wrestling,
that's why I see wrestlers. tearing
Damian
it up.
Maya, who's just fucking smashing people.
Oh.
I mean, Damian Maia's jiu-jitsu is terrifying, but what was he? He was a multiple-time world jiu-jitsu champion. Jacare, same thing. Joanna, same thing. Murderer, Muay Thai champion, 6-time world champion. You know, I mean, across the board, there's so many examples. Johnny Hendricks, elite wrestler.
Yes.
Tyron Woodley, elite wrestler. I mean, you can go down the list. Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, elite wrestlers. Yeah.
Like, you look at all the champs, Ronda Rousey, judo, Olympics.
Yep.
You look at all the champs, they have this extensive amateur background. And now you get these other guys who don't have that background.
Exactly.
It's such a disadvantage, man.
It's
no one's fault.
Yeah.
No, I'm not pointing any fingers there at all. I'm just saying it's an issue in the sport where if it's tough, man, because I was talking with someone, I think with Kenny Floyd, and I'm like, man, I'd love to see Northcutt get like 8 fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
And just murk people and get comfortable. And we both agreed that that's not going to happen. Because he wins 4 in a row. People are crying for a title shot. And a reason for this is because of these freaks, these 1%ers that everyone compares everyone to, and that's like a Ronda Rousey who just comes on the scene murking people, or John Jones. You're talking about most people aren't like that, man. Those are the LeBron James of our sport.
Yeah. Most people in the sport at the championship level are not like John Jones.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or Ronda. They're just not.
Ronda.
They don't have that mental game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and again, at the extensive competition background before you ever get to MMA, I think you become like a champion already. Like, there's only a few guys. Like, Gustafson's a good example. Gustafson was a good boxer. You know, he was an amateur boxer, I believe, before he got into MMA.
Correct.
But how much experience did he have in boxing? How many amateur fights did he have?
I don't think it's extensive. I don't think, he's like a...
But he's obviously like a hair off the champion. You know, a hair off the John Jones fight, a hair off the Cormier fight. He wins that 5th round. With Cormier, he's a world champ right now.
I agree, and it's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
It's super... That fight was super heartbreaking for me.
That fight was crazy.
For Gustafson, because it's like... He lost to John, now loses to DC. He's that guy, man.
Did you see the picture he posted on his Instagram today?
And I saw you retweeted it.
Almost made me tear up.
I
dude.
know, man. Me too.
You know,
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But
I love DC too.
That photo. Yeah.
I love DC too, and that was a great fight. But now you got a motherfucker waiting.
Yep.
John Jones, and I don't know if you've seen his Instagram.
Yeah.
But this motherfucker's motivated.
And lifting
He was
weights.
whooping everyone's ass. 3 weeks of training. What? Now you're going to take cocaine away from this motherfucker and drugs and make him lift weights? And now he's going to do a real camp? What the fuck do you think's going to happen?
He's going to have a hard time cutting weight.
Nah. He'll figure it out. Nah. He'll figure it out. What?
He looked big, didn't he?
Jacked.
Looks like he's getting ready for prison.
Jacked, man.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's the best.
As far as light heavyweights go, for sure. I mean,
it's not close though, Joe.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love DC. I fucking love DC. That guy, I love working with him. I love being around him. He's greatness at its finest. And I have a son on the way. DC's a guy I can point to and say, be like DC. He's a good example. He's a great dude.
Right.
He's done it the right way. You can't say that about John, right?
well, right now you can't. But he's a young guy. He's 27 years old, right?
Not that young. But the thing is with DC, he's like the Phil Mickelson. You know what I'm saying? He's like Phil Mickelson of golf. Where
Phil Mickelson?
If Tiger Woods isn't around, we're all fucking wearing Phil Mickelson shoes and shit right now.
Really?
Yeah, man. But Tiger Woods is that motherfucker. He was that 1% better and just beat him every time.
Wow. Sucks to be Phil.
I know, man. He's still making bank. He's still making bank, and people love him. But
that's the difference between the UFC and golf.
You're not making that John Jones
second
money.
Place. You can still have a private jet.
Ask Misha Tate how number 2's doing behind Ronda. It ain't fun. You ain't sipping champagne with Dana White on private jet to number 2. Wearing Nike and shit.
Well, the disparity between number 1 and number 2 financially is fucking enormous.
In fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yes.
It's fucking enormous. It's like there's no other place where it's bigger. You know?
Yeah. I mean, boxing, you could say that a little bit. Well, not really. Because you'll get
Do you
Floyd
know who
and
I think
Pacquiao.
is the biggest threat to John?
I'd love
Rumble.
to hear this.
Rumble.
Oh, I disagree.
See, I think Rumble, if Rumble gets his conditioning together, and I think Rumble had a real hard time in that Cormier fight, but the Rumble that you see when you saw him fight Jimmy Manuwa, the Rumble that like You're smiling. Why are you smiling?
I'm smiling because you're like, man, if Rumble fucking got his cardio together, bro, and fucking got taller and longer, his
No,
reach.
no, I'm not saying that.
You're asking for
I
a
didn't
lot.
say that.
You're asking,
well,
we said the guy that
reach
fought
didn't
Jim.
help Gustafson when he fought Gustafson. He took Gustafson out in the first round.
True, with a headbutt. But the thing is, no, I love Rumble. Don't get me wrong.
They definitely
I love
did
Rumble.
clash heads, but I think his head got hit too.
I'll
right?
tell you exactly what happens if John fights Rumble.
What happens?
John takes him down, wears his ass out, and breaks him in the second round. Probably submits him or TKOs him.
Wow.
That's how good John is, man. And everyone's like, oh, Schaub's a John Jones nut hugger. Nah, man.
He's very good.
I don't know what to tell you.
He's better than very good. Very good's not even a good enough
I agree.
description.
Yeah, I agree. He's by far the best. Like, there we have everyone, and then we have John. That's how fucking good this guy is. That's how bad he's beating people.
What if John had the kind of technique that Mighty Mouse has?
Fuck.
Kind of
We're all
technique and
fucked.
footwork.
We're
Can you
going to have to
imagine?
do like a Rumble match. Like,
What if in
2
all
on
this
1?
time off, John Jones comes out and he starts fighting like TJ Dillashaw?
Oh, my God. What? What?
Oh, okay. What do you think about this TJ Dillashaw thing? TJ Dillashaw moved camps to Team Elevation in Colorado, and you know Uriah is understandably upset. You know.
I knew this for weeks because he moved to my old head coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I couldn't say anything. I don't want to break the news. I'm not fucking
So
Ariel Helwani.
someone's coming with cash. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Muscle Farm Gym is paying the UFC fighters now.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, TJ's going there. And I'll tell you what it does do. You ready for this one? It sets up Uriah. TJ,
Yeah.
talk about a fucking countdown. What?
Yeah.
Reebok kits for everybody. What? You imagine that fight?
Do you think they would do that?
100%. They agreed they
Really?
would fight each
They
other. And
already
now
agreed?
even more.
Wow.
Yeah, they've said previously they would be down for it.
So what is the Muscle Farm deal? Is it some dude with oil money or something?
I don't know what those
Some
Muscle
guy
Farm
who owns
boys
a
do.
diamond factory somewhere?
I don't know. Well, I think what they're going to do is because they can't really be in the UFC anymore, so they came up with this plan. We're like, all right, we'll sponsor fighters, so we'll get all their Instagram and social media, and we can put our brand on them that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because since Reebok came, right? Like
That's pretty smart.
it's smart. It's actually pretty smart. I don't know how much they're paying them if it's smart, but
Well,
it makes smart to get their social media because I always thought about this because let's say you give me whatever 10 grand to wear a t-shirt for one night for 30 seconds, or you can sponsor for the year and all my fucking social media and training, I'm rocking your shit. You can
Yeah.
get way more coverage, man.
Well, you can today, too, especially with a guy like TJ that's super popular or someone like Rhonda or, you know, anyone who's, like, very popular on social media.
True. You gotta be social media savvy though. A lot of guys aren't.
Or you got to have someone that works with you and for you, like a manager or something like that who knows how to do that shit.
I used to hire a photographer, Eric Williams, a beast photographer, and he'd come to my training camps and he'd take all these pictures and send them to me at night so I could post them throughout the week.
But you would post them all yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people post all their shit themselves, and some people, like some athletes and even some like musicians, you see like posted by team crews.
Yeah, I
like
know.
Tom Cruise has like a team that posts his
It's kind
stuff.
of lame though, isn't it?
It's very lame.
Like I think it's dope that social media allows people access to that they normally wouldn't have.
yeah, that's
Like,
what it's supposed to be all
dope,
about.
The personal interaction, like whatever. I'm not saying dick pics, but you know what I'm saying.
That's what it's supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be all about like if you get a tweet from me, unless it's if you read a tweet from me, unless it's from a YouTube video, like the YouTube videos when they get uploaded, they automatically generate a tweet.
Yeah.
But that's just the title of the YouTube video. There's no opinion in that or anything like that. If you get opinions or, hey, this movie was fucking awesome, I ate at this place, it tasted great.
That's you.
That's on me.
Joe Rogan.
100%. I don't want to let anybody else do that.
Dude, my manager one time, I forget which fight, it was like, oh, I'll tweet live for you during your fight. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Imagine.
What are you,
kind of
crazy?
gross shit he would
You have
say.
one eye. No, hell no. Fuck no.
When I was doing a show, they wanted to take my social media. Sci-Fi wanted to take over my social media.
You're batshit crazy.
I'm like, yeah,
I would never do that.
I was like, you gotta be on drugs.
I didn't let my girl fucking see my social media. What? I'm not giving anyone my phone.
Arsenio Hall was at the Ice House one night, and I was talking to him. It was after a show. You know, he did the Arsenio Hall reboot, and after they did it for a while,
it's over now, though,
it didn't
right?
work. Yeah,
Yeah, poor
or
guy.
it didn't work out or whatever. He's having fun. He doesn't give a shit. But he was like, I can't get my fucking Facebook back. He's like, they have my Facebook. And I go, well, you can't get it back? He's like, well, I had to give it to them when I had to give control of my social media.
Oh,
to
you
the,
fucked up.
yeah, you had to do that.
Well, Kevin Hart was talking about this, how movies now tell him, like, hey, man, we need you to tweet out or Instagram the movie. He's like, that's not in the contract. If you want that, you got to write that in. That's extra money, man. This is a completely different machine. I'm doing the movie. You're paying me for my talents. If you want me to promote on my social media that I've built myself over the years, you're going to have to write this into the contract.
That's interesting because I would think that if he did something that he enjoyed, he would want people to see it. So he
I
would
think
use
he's looking
his
at it
social
like a
media.
business, though. And I get it 100%. I get it 100%.
I do, but I also think, like, at his level, he must be making so much fucking money that, like, to say I want more money to use my social media presence, like, what the social media presence is really just going to do is alert his fans to some movie that he's
To watch
doing,
his
which
movie.
is good.
Sometimes you got to be careful with social media, and this is just me, right? To compare to Kevin Hart, I'm not shit. I'm a grain of sand. But when a company comes in and goes, whatever, we want to work with the fighter and the kid. I'm like, cool. Well, the deal's with me and Bryan. And like, yeah, but we want your social media. To have me post this stuff, listen, man, fans, they hate that shit.
Yeah,
So
they don't.
it's a motherfucker, man.
They always want to figure out some way to weasel in.
Always.
Some way.
Always.
There's got to be a way to get in here. You know what? A lot of people are experiencing this. They're getting courted by these networks. Like there'll be a network, like a podcast network will come to them and want to take a piece of the action, and get in return they would provide them with a certain amount of commercials. Like, really, they're not providing anything.
Fuck
But what they're doing is they're saying, by saying, you know, hey, we'll provide you with some commercials, we'll give you some commercial revenue. But by saying that, what they're really doing is they're trying to figure out a way where they can make money off of what you're doing, where you're doing it completely independently. Like right now, what you're doing is you're taking your stuff and you're just putting it online. Now, you got to figure out that somehow, some way, someone is eventually going to figure out how to advertise that. So what they're doing is they're seeing, like, this guy's missing out on some money. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move in here and I'm going to take some of his, I'm going to give him some money, but I'm going to take some of his money where it doesn't make any sense that I would make that money.
Yeah, man.
They're giving away 50%. In some of these cases, where they're joining podcast networks, the network's asking for 50%.
And I know people have done this. It's like, what are you thinking, man?
It's crazy.
Don't give anyone 50%.
But if you had a radio show, that makes sense. Like, say if you were on, CBS radio, whatever, just for a name to use, right? And you had some sports radio show, and they said, listen, we're going to syndicate your show. We're going to bring your show across the country. And this is what we want. We're going to get advertisers in. We're going to give you 50% of the ad revenue, but you're going to make a lot of money. You'd be like, well, okay, that sounds pretty good. It sounds like a good deal. But there's no channels that people like automatically go to. What people do is they download podcasts that they like.
Yes.
Whether it's Radio Lab or
What
The
they
Fighter
want.
and the Kid or The Church of What's Happening Now. They go to what they like and then they get it. Like the idea that you're just going to tune into a dial. 6:40 a.m. It's the Ghost. You know what I mean? The Ghost Morning Show. You know what I mean? Like this. That is like you have a distinct location that people are accustomed to going to. They're going to go there.
Yeah.
It's like if you want ad space on Santa Monica Boulevard. Well, you know Santa Monica Boulevard is a well-traveled area. If you put up a billboard up there, it kind of makes sense. You have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if someone says, "Dude, I got this billboard. It's in the middle of fucking desert. I want a lot of money.
I want a lot of money,
fuckload
bro.
of money. I want half of what you make.
I need 50%.
I'm going to put this billboard up." Well,
Bro.
can other people get to that billboard? Yes. They just have to
they
get in their car
want.
and they have to drive out to the desert. Now, about the money.
Bro, me and Callen had a serious discussion because, you know, with the
No
show,
glory link yet?
no glory, huh?
We're trying to find
Hating
it.
on us.
We're supposed to get a link.
With the podcast doing better, we're getting more sponsors, advertising, stuff like that. And we had a major like corporate sponsor come to us. Now, I fancy myself when I was younger, a couple of these products, especially with cheese and ketchup only, right? I loved them, man. I don't promote it now, but I could buy a lot with it. You know what I'm saying? But Callen was like, absolutely not, man. He's like, I would never tell people to buy this stuff.
Yeah. You can't tell people to buy that.
You can't. You
Yeah.
can't.
It's
And
because it's
after
different.
talking to Callen and I ran some stuff by you, it's just like, you can't do that, man.
Can't. Unless you love it. like if In-N-Out Burger came to me and they wanted to offer a sponsorship, I might have to fucking say yes.
I'll tell you right now,
Those are-
Chick-fil-A comes to me. What? Chick-fil-A?
They hate gay people. Do you know that?
Hey, man, I'm just trying to
What
get a
do you
chicken
mean,
sandwich.
Jamie's
I'm
over
just
there
trying to
not
get a
gonna shut your
chicken
mouth.
sandwich, bro.
Listen, they hate gay people.
Do they?
Yeah. Jamie's like, not anymore. It's
Not
like
anymore.
as if
Not
the
anymore.
PR push worked. It only worked on
It worked
Jamie.
on him.
Jamie's the only one. Like, not anymore. He interrupts the podcast. Like, not anymore.
Not anymore,
Not
brother.
anymore. You don't even know. That's why That's why.
Damn, so I can't eat Chick-fil-A anymore?
That's great. That's
Wait,
why
how-
those goddamn promos work. That's why those
They got me and
those
Jamie.
publicists.
I'll fucking take a chicken sandwich right now.
No, they're very rude about the gay people. They spend money to try to stop
Really?
gay marriage and shit
Oh,
like that. Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, it's been
That chicken is
a big
so
thing.
delicious.
They
You've
do-
ruined
they
my
do a
night.
good job. It doesn't matter. You can still eat it. It doesn't matter in the long run.
I like gay people,
Just because you have stupid opinions doesn't mean you shouldn't be allowed to make money.
True.
The problem is when they're using those stupid opinions. See, they're super religious, and that's one of the things. Religious people, they don't freak out about some things that are in the Bible. Like, you very rarely see religious people protesting against tattoos. But in the Bible, it very clearly says, don't get tattoos.
Yeah, we're both fucked.
We're both fucked.
Both super
But
fucked.
what's hilarious is there's a lot of people that are super religious that fucking tattoo religious shit on their body. You're not supposed to do that. Like, there's other stuff you're not supposed to, like, if you go Old Testament, you're not supposed to be eating pork. You know, you're not supposed to be like an animal, a split hoof that chews its own cud. Like, there's like, you have rules, like what you're supposed to eat and what you're not allowed to eat. And there's a lot of people that break those rules. There's a bunch of rules about divorce, and there's rules about property, and there's rules that people break in the Bible all the time. But for whatever reason, with really religious folks, that gay rule is a rule that they want enforced.
Why do they give a fuck?
Oh, it's weird. It's weird.
Like my good friend Joe Rogan said, maybe they're worried that dicks taste delicious.
Yeah, they're fighting off the gay for sure. There's some of them
Fight off the gay.
fighting it
for
off like a vampire, putting garlic around their neck and shit. It's also, I think they think of gay. This is my amateur psychologist opinion.
Love to hear
I
it.
think some people think of gay as being decadent and indulgent, and that this will lead to slovenly behavior and too much partying and fucking and guys sucking each other off and coming each other. This is not conducive to a good, well-oiled society. Like, well-oiled society needs people to be buttoned down and conservative. That's why conservative people, they tend to dress with like suits and ties. They tend to let you know, like, look, we're gonna follow. I'm down with this agenda. Okay, God, guns, country. I listen to country music. I got a Second Amendment thing. Like, they're so cookie cutter in the way they think that it's somewhere along the line. Like, God, there's so many people that think along the same way. What is it? Well, this is an adoption of an ideology. They're adopting a way to think. They're adopting this hardworking American blue-collar, conservative, religious, God bless America. Put your hands over your heart. Let's all join in prayer. God bless America.
Don't you think they're doing that so they don't have to think for themselves?
There's a little of that.
Yeah.
There's a little of that. And there's also, you're subscribing to this ideology that would most likely, what you believe is it'll most likely prevent people from acting crazy and doing stupid shit because they're going to follow God's rules. So it'll be easier to raise kids. Like, it'll be easier to have a family and just bring them to church on Sunday and you say hello to the Wilsons and everybody talks fake. You're all talking like your strip club
Bullshit,
DJs.
yeah.
Hello, Mr.
Hey.
Wilson. Look, hey, you got a nice new sedan there, Mr. Wilson.
Jimmy, come on down. Listen, man, people are looking at it all wrong. I mean, the more gay dudes, the better. More chicks for me, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fuck
I think
it.
there's that, and there's also like this shit that I don't like. I don't like discrimination. I don't like it. I don't like any discrimination.
No, I hate it. Yeah,
it drives me nuts.
I agree 100%.
But in both ways, though, too. Like, I saw today, there was a Seattle yoga place that will not accept white men. Or white people or white men. I tweeted it earlier
What?
today. Yeah. There's some
Yoga's
Seattle...
white as fuck. Do you hate money? Who is this?
Yeah, I'll pull it up on
When's
my
the
Twitter.
last time you went to a yoga class? Like, damn, there's a lot of black people in here.
Well, it's not that common, I don't think. But some
I don't
people,
think so.
some of the black folks enjoy the yoga.
They might. I'm saying in general, if you want to make money, for sure don't kick out white people.
I think that's their point. I think they wanted something that's theirs. But to say that, like, that's, to say that white people can't come, like, God damn it, you're missing the boat.
Yeah, you fucked up, son.
It just doesn't seem to make any sense.
Someone fucked you on your business plan.
Well, no whites allowed. It's whites. Yeah, they only want people of color. They want to exclude Caucasians.
This isn't Seattle?
Yes.
Kurt Cobain land? You're fucking up, man.
Yeah.
A lot
A lot of white people up there.
A lot of white people? It's tough.
Well, some people think that supporting black people is not racist. that just universally supporting black people is not racist, because black people have been oppressed, and that what you're doing is you're giving them a place where they can join in a community and feel like they belong, because they feel ostracized from the rest of the world, especially in Seattle where everybody's white. The problem with that kind of thinking is it's still the same thing. Are you saying white people can't come in? It's like still the same thing as saying like black people can't come in.
Yeah, man, that's racist.
It's racist.
Towards white people.
Yeah, it's just racist.
You know what? Just make your fucking yoga place just super
Make it
inviting to
awesome.
blacks. Make it awesome.
Just make it awesome to everybody. And, you know, and if you want more black people to do it because you identify with those black people, reach out to them. But to say that white people can't come to your yoga class, that seems crazy.
It's the worst idea.
Why
I've
would
ever
you
heard.
not like people based on how much melanin they carry in their skin or their ethnic origin of their grandparents?
It
It's
is
fucking
weird.
stupid. It's fucking stupid.
So
It's stupid if you're white. It's stupid if you're black. It's stupid if
Makes
you're
no
Asian.
sense.
It's stupid.
You're ignorant.
Yeah.
So what religion is Chick-fil-A?
It's Christian.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
That is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Chick-fil-A.
There's a bunch of Chick-fil-A stuff online. Like there's people that were boycotting them and shit.
That's crazy, man. You know, I had a cousin who was basically beat to death because he was gay.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. So it's super touchy for me. So no more Chick-fil-A for
Whoa.
me, even though I love that fucking chicken sandwich.
Yeah. See, that's fucking crazy. And
He
that
was on a
comes.
bus. He was on a bus, and he was very like flamboyant. And they jumped him and basically beat him to a pulp, and he went home and died later.
Oh my
Crazy,
God.
right?
Jesus
Bummer,
Christ.
man. Didn't mean to fuck up the flow of the podcast.
Jesus
But we're
Christ.
talking
Where
about
was this?
Chick-fil-A.
Where this happened?
Denver.
Denver.
He was on a public transportation bus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and a bunch of dudes jumped him for
Did they
being
ever
gay.
find out who it was?
Yeah, they did catch him.
Wow.
Tough,
What happened
man.
to them?
I'm not sure. I remember I was in college at the time. My dad telling me, I was like, "What?"
Fuck.
Fucking. And I remember, like, when I was younger, me and my brother were pretty close to him and his brother Nathan. And then you know, you do shit and you just fall out of touch. But I remember my dad told me, I'm like, "What the fuck?" I remember being mad that I couldn't help him. It's weird, right?
The idea that someone would want to just hit someone because they're flamboyant, because they're gay.
What? I know, what the fuck is wrong with
It's
people?
the way they were raised. It's 100% what it is. It's the way they were raised. It's 100%. If you were raised in a community that didn't give a shit, that would be like no big deal. Like if okay, let's just say us, like all of us in this room, like you, me, and Jamie, if we had our own little community and one of us had a kid and another one of us had a kid and we found out Jamie's kid is gay, do you think you would want your kid to beat up Jamie's kid? Would you say you got to kick their ass? Would you promote that kind of thinking?
Hell
Never
no.
way. No way.
No
It would
way.
never happen. It wouldn't be possible. But when you get enough fucking idiots in a city, and you get enough really narrow-minded, bigoted people that have these shitty ideas about other people's sexual orientations or the way they choose to wear their clothes or whether they choose to be goth or whether anything, whatever it is, if it doesn't affect you, is it poisoning your pool?
I know,
Are
who
they killing
cares?
your vegetables in your
Who gives
garden?
a
Like, what is
fuck?
going on with you're upset? And you're raising people to have this fear of it, and then they're interacting with other people at school, and they all have this fear of it, and they all want to let everybody know that they're not like that. And one of the best ways to let people know that you're not like that is to attack people who are like that.
It's crazy, man. Think about we had a transgender person on our show, Caitlin Beck, and she was saying
Kristen
Beck, good save, my man, Kristen Beck, and she was saying she was walking down the road and just group of 5 guys came from behind and beat the shit out of her. She said it happens all the time. Transgender, it happens all. This is their number one concern.
Oh my
Walking down the road getting beat up.
And she was a Navy SEAL.
She was a Navy SEAL and gets her ass whooped.
That's a crazy situation, man. To be a Navy SEAL, full beard, badass, American killer, out there.
I think it proves that they're wired like that. You know what I'm saying? Like no one chooses like, oh, I want to take all this on, and it's especially today's society. What? Yeah, I want to take all this on. I want to be gay and have people criticize me and all this shit.
Some people are certainly wired that way.
I think some are, yes, and I think some choose, but I think a lot of people are born that way.
And you know what? Here's the other thing, though. The people that do choose, that's their choice.
I agree.
They're
Have
allowed,
fun, man.
Yeah, they're allowed to have that choice.
Get weird.
Yeah. It's like if you want to be Debbie now, that's cool. You know, whoever the fuck you want to be. I don't give a shit. Again, same thing. If it doesn't affect me, I don't really care.
I agree 100%.
The people that do care, though, they're scary. They're scary to those folks. To someone that's transgender or someone that's flamboyant or black. You're in the wrong place, you're black, or white. If you're in the wrong place, you're white. There's people that will beat the fuck out of you because they feel like you got a fucking easy hand because you were raised white.
The world is crazy, man.
There's bad people in almost every single demographic. You're going to find people that, for whatever reason, they got to where you are in a fucked up way.
Bro, curveball, not to change subject, but you think fucking humans are a motherfucker? Watch National Geographic for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Mother Nature is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
To another level, man.
Oh, yeah, dude. Is this live?
I got it. Well,
We got it?
yeah, I have it. It's done now, so we can
The
start.
whole thing's done?
Yeah.
The entire event?
They're getting ready to start it back up at 8 o'clock Pacific time, but we
For
can,
Cali, West
yeah,
Coast?
We can go back and watch this on DVR.
Well, let's watch it now.
So we can start it whenever you want.
Bring it.
Bring it. So Joe Schilling already fought?
Yeah, the whole thing's done.
Wow, that's crazy. It's not even 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour event. So I
But
don't know what the
Denver-
event is.
It's in Denver. That's
Just
weird. They're
started
only an
early.
hour.
Okay, well, let's see
I
it
should
because...
probably start with the main card though, right? Or do you want to watch the? We don't want to do the
Yeah,
whole 4
well,
hours.
well, we could do whatever the fuck we want now. We got power,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah, dog.
Glory Kickboxing. This is this podcast gonna morph into a fight companion because my good friend Joe Schilling is fighting on that card, and he's in the main event against Jason Wilness, who's a bad motherfucker from Holland. Two really, really good kickboxers in both world championship level. Joe Schilling, of course, he's been world champion. He beat Artem Levin, who's the current Glory world champion. He won that fucking crazy 4-man tournament.
Crazy.
Artem Levin, man, those guys, they had to fight. Was it 3 times or 4 times in a day? 3 times, right?
3 times. That.
Horrible kickboxing fights. Just
He had some rough fights.
oh yeah, man. The first one
Oof.
with Simon Marcus, where it went to the 4th round. They had 3 rounds. They were a draw, so they went to a 4th round, and Schilling knocked him out in the 4th round. It was fucking crazy. That was round 1. Can we get some volume, Jamie?
So
I
was
don't
trying
think
to figure out
Glory will
where
be
you want me
mad.
to- Where you want me to start
Give
at?
it-
I don't know.
This is one
Right
of
here
the
is
this
good.
is one of the early ones.
Yeah, this is just the whole 4-hour event. I got to figure out where the
Oh,
event
right.
starts. And it's
Yeah.
not live or
hours.
anything like
Jesus
that.
Christ, that's a lot of
Yeah,
kickboxing.
let's
It's
get
gonna
a
sync it up with people
and let's get this this screen over here. Give us the data of who. Oh, is that
I can't do that with this.
you can't.
I'm using the computer for the video.
Oh, that's
We'll
right.
watch it again at 8 and 20
Oh yeah,
minutes.
because we're on
Okay.
a link.
Kevin von Nostrand.
A lot of Denver boys on this card being in Denver.
This is a tough place to fight
Denver can be tricky.
when you're well, not like Mexico City. Mexico City is the trickiest of tricky. That's why it's going to be interesting to see the Cain Velasquez Verdun rematch.
In Brazil?
Yeah. Are they going to do it in Brazil? I don't think that's confirmed. Is that confirmed?
Pretty sure it's confirmed. I feel like you would know better than me.
Well, I don't think it is. Honestly,
I feel like it is.
I talked to Javier Melendez.
How long ago?
Javier Mendez the other day.
Okay.
It's a couple days ago.
Man, I thought I was in
I
Brazil.
hear Mauro Ranello. I like his commentary on these
Me too.
events. He's great. He's gotten so good from doing Showtime, boxing, doing the Floyd Mayweather fights.
He's really, really good.
He's excellent.
I love the Showtime crew.
Yeah.
This feller with the tattoo on his
Oh,
back
Jesus.
trained with us in Denver at Grudge, J-Ho.
I like that tattoo. That's dope. It's American as fuck, son.
Super American.
Got a goddamn John American flag on his back. You were talking about nature being a motherfucker watching the
Bro,
nature.
ah, my God, I had to turn it off, man. I
You
don't
can
do well seeing
Watch
animals
some
die.
horrible shit.
Horrible shit, man.
Yeah.
I saw this mountain goat getting chased by a snow leopard. Snow leopard chased him all the way down the cliff, grabbed him by the ass, about to eat him anus first. He got away. Instead of dealing with death and the fucking snow leopard, fool just jumped in the river, died, committed suicide.
Oh my God.
Baby deer just born, and this fucking wild pack of dogs is coming. The mom pieces out. This baby deer can barely stand. Ate, done. It's intense, man.
Yeah,
Nature
that's-
does not fuck around.
More than half of all the moose and deer that get killed in Canada, they get killed right after they're born by bears,
Dude, I was depressed
wolves,
as fuck.
coyotes, shit like that, right after they're born. You know, that's a big thing too about grain. You know, a lot of people think that they want to live a life where they're not involved in any death. And that's noble. You know, you don't want to cause any animal suffering. I get it. I totally understand that idea. Even though I hunt and even though I eat meat, I totally get why they feel like that. But there's a reality to commercial grain. And one of the realities of commercial grain is, you know, those things, the combines, those things that they churn up, that they cut the wheat with.
Yeah.
Those things are indiscriminate. They kill everything that's on the ground.
For sure. Everything
they kill
in its way.
rabbits, and they kill a lot of fawns too. Because fawns, when they're young, when they're newborn, what they like to do is stay put. So if there's anything coming, what they do is they just stay put, and they kind of hide, and they get ground up by the combines. It's super common. Rabbits, rodents, ground nesting birds, all of them get ground up in those things. There's almost no way, unless you're growing your own food and you're growing your own vegetables and you're there for the whole process, you make your own compost, there's almost no way to leave no footprint.
How about that elk you shot? You just posted today. What's the deal with that thing?
I shot it.
Was it
Wednesday morning.
5,000 pounds?
1,000 pounds?
Enormous.
Yeah, it's a big animal.
Literally a giant animal.
I'll show you another picture that's even more crazy of it. Where
Would
you
you,
get a
would you
sense of it.
shoot him with a bazooka?
A bow and arrow.
Straight bow and arrow?
Yeah. Yeah, man. A lot of work went into that.
A lot of skill with a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
I respect
for
bow and
sure.
arrow more.
Well, it's
It's come from a guy
a
who's
lot of
never
dangerous.
shot a gun.
Look at that. You got to look at how
God
big
damn,
it is
he's
when it's
huge.
hanging off of a tree. We're cleaning it. You kind of get a sense of how big it really is. That's how we got it into a truck too.
He's huge.
Yeah,
He's probably
it's a 1,000-pound animal. It's enormous, and they get bigger. There's some of them like 12, even 1,400 pounds. The really enormous ones, especially at Tejon Ranch. And by the way, they're not even the biggest. Moose are even bigger than them. Moose are giant, dude. There's moose in the Yukon that are 1,800 pounds.
dude, that thing is fucking huge.
Imagine something twice as big as that. That's a moose in the Yukon. Literally twice as big.
Then what do you guys hang it? Then you and your friend cut it.
Well, first you back the truck to it, and then they put it into the back of a pickup truck, and then we took it to a cooler, like a walk-in cooler, and then the real work begins. Start
That's when you get your hands
quartering it and taking pieces off of it. And
you brought it home?
Brought most of it home. Some of it is at a butcher shop that's getting turned into sausages and shit.
And when you shoot
want
it,
some elk sausage?
yeah, I'm down with some elk
Delicious.
sausage.
High protein, son. Might wake up in the middle of the night with predator dreams, though.
Dude, I'm not mad about that. When
Wake
you
up at
shoot a
night.
thing like that, how long does it take for it to die?
That was pretty instant. It was a perfect scenario. It was dead within a minute. But you know, that's one of the things about the discipline of getting better at getting better at dealing with the nerves, getting better at aiming, making sure your archery skills are on point, or your rifle skills for that matter. Like rifle, you could injure an animal rifle hunting too. Super important that you work really hard on it. It's also just so fucking nerve-wracking, man.
Really?
Oh my god.
Well, this is my thing though. With that fucking giant elk, if let's say you nick it, you miss or
and he gets
whatever,
mad at you,
it heads your way.
it's your ass.
Really?
Yeah, you're fucked.
An
if
elk?
it decides to, oh yeah.
I'll slap that shit.
Oh,
out
you think you will? Do you see the antlers?
I did see the antlers.
Dude, it's a tree. It's got a
I'll
tree
go
growing
behind
out
a
of it.
tree, bro. I don't
you
get
c-
why it's so tough.
If you could go behind a tree, you could pull it off. But
Just keep going
if
around
you
the tree,
got
old school
stuck,
style.
If you got stuck in an open area and for some reason, he got to you first.
You're getting fucked up.
You're getting fucked up. It happens. It's not that common because they're usually scared of people. They try to get the fuck away from you.
I
Where it really
bet.
happens is more with bears. With bears, it could really happen for sure.
And moose, right? Aren't moose aggressive as
yeah.
shit?
Well, they're definitely aggressive if you wound them. Steve Ranella, my friend from that show Meat Eater,
Yeah.
he got run over by a fucking moose on his show. Dude, it was crazy.
Did you
He
get
told me
fucked
about
up?
it after the fact, and I watched it on TV. Like, the way he described it, it sounded crazy. But then watching it, you're like, oh, my God. He shot the moose. The moose went down. He thought the moose was dead. Came up on it. And then the moose got up, and he went, oh, shit, he's alive. And he went to shoot him again, and the gun misfired, which is so rare.
Yeah.
It's so rare that you pull the trigger and nothing happens. So he had to rechamber another round. And in the process, this
late.
moose comes behind him and sends him flying. And there was blood on him. And he couldn't figure out if it's his blood or the moose's blood. He's like, he's feeling his body to see if he's been punctured. And he got nailed by a big-ass animal.
One for the moose.
One for the moose.
So
But
did the
then-
moose get away?
No.
Of course not.
No. My buddy Ryan was there. Ryan Callen put a bullet into him. What happened? We lose our feed? Yeah. Let's move ahead anyway.
Glory.
Glory.
Yeah.
But so you know, just nature being dangerous, nature being ruthless. We're so so insulated from it. That's why people have these beautiful ideas of what animals are and how people fit into the food chain. We're so used to getting our dirty work done for us.
This is true. You got to bring me sometime, man.
Oh, I got you. You want to come? I'm sending Everlast out. Everlast, he totally unrelated. He didn't even know that I got back from hunting, and he sent me a text saying that he wants to hunt, and he wants to find someone that'll take him through it. And so I set him up with this guy Brian Meadows, who was my guide this past weekend, or one of my guides. And he, one of the guys that works there. There's like a bunch of like really good guides that work at this one ranch. And he's going to do like a thing with him where he takes him out, shows him how to shoot, shows him how to sight in the rifle, and then they're gonna go hunt pigs.
How long is this?
A couple days, yeah.
Fuck, man.
Well, you don't like pigs?
I want something a little more danger. You know what I'm saying?
You ever see a wild boar before?
Yeah.
Dude, they have wild boars on this ranch.
In Texas?
Tusks. No, Tejon Ranch. It's up north of here, like an hour and a half. Not far at all. They have some photos. I'll show you some after the show.
Yeah,
ridiculous
I just need to be a little scared.
Wild
you know what I'm
boars.
saying?
Oh, wild
Otherwise,
boars.
it's not fun.
Wild boars sound like monsters. We were there the first time I was ever there. We were passing by these thick grasses, like high, tall grasses, like weeds and grasses. Like it was like 4 or 5 feet tall. You couldn't see inside of it, but you knew there were pigs in there. And so we're walking down this dirt road, really slow and quiet. So they don't even know we're there, and we hear them fighting. Like it sounds like there's demons in there tearing each other apart. They're fighting for some reason. They're making all these crazy boar noises. I was freaked out, dude. I was definitely freaked out by wild boars. Did you see that movie, that TV show Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
The fucking king got killed by a wild boar.
Giant boar.
That's how he got him.
I've seen like one
Oh,
Game of Thrones.
damn. That dude just got dropped.
Another Denver kid.
We don't even know who's fighting. Who's the guy in the orange trunks?
That's the Denver kid. Can't
Damn.
remember his name though. Trained with
This
him
is
a
over.
bunch. Yeah,
Oh
he's
my
jacked
God.
up.
Yeah. Damn, that kid's good. Little hairy armpits, though, huh?
Yeah, I agree. You
Old
gotta trim
school.
those up, man.
That's old school. I like that.
I like that.
What does his bush look like? Probably ridiculous.
See that dick, my man. So you see that doctor? You see that doctor in the ring? They just show him with glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Check this story out.
There's Bang.
There's Bang. No, that doctor on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out.
Uh-oh.
So he
You
was
gonna
the
get in
doc-
trouble right now?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Horrible story though.
Jamie, do we have any more of these things? We have regular coffee, don't we? Didn't you make regular coffee?
I use some myself.
Just coffee, no butter, no bullshit.
Yeah. So that doctor, right? He goes on a family vacation. Wife, 3 kids. Peep it. Wife, 3 kids, and fucking Subaru Outback, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
They go, he's in Wyoming. They go, don't drive. There's a flash flood warning. He goes, fuck it. We can get through it. Drives, flash flood warning through this thing, takes the car over. Entire family dies except for him.
Oh, my God.
3 kids, 3 little kids, and the wife.
Oh, my God.
I'm just full of fucking. Who brought
You're
the
the
good news beer?
worst
Who brought the
today.
good news beer? Hey,
Yeah.
man, I didn't know they were going to show the fucking guy.
Well, Jesus, you didn't have to tell the whole story.
It's intense, right?
That's pretty intense.
So then Shane Carwin and a bunch of us did like a fundraiser for him. Ugh, horrible, man.
Again, nature is a cruel, cruel bitch.
Nature does not give a fuck.
We found an elk that got murked by another elk.
Damn it.
On
Elk
the
on elk
ranch.
crime?
Elk on elk crime.
That's rare, right?
Nope. Real. Super common. They fight to the death sometimes.
Dog.
They stab each other with their giant antlers. That's what the antlers are for. But occasionally, sometimes they just get scarred up and they have cuts on their.
Yeah, I've seen him like headbutting shit on TV.
Maybe rams, because they tangle antlers like deer and elk and moose. They tangle antlers. That's what the antlers are for.
I'm trying to suck on those antlers for that. What is it, IGF-1 or some shit people were doing?
You want the velvet?
Yeah, I want to suck
Yeah.
on that velvet.
Yeah, the velvet, deer velvet, and elk velvet. It was like a real hot property a
Super
while
hot.
ago. It was such a hot property that what they were doing was at the Seavia. There were farms in Alberta where they were growing this shit. They were growing elk just to use their velvet, and then the process, for whatever reason, became less and less valuable to people. And the amount that stevia is super weak. Just pour a bunch in there like it's sugar. That's like the worst stevia. Jamie got it from the dollar store.
God damn it, Jamie.
But so this guy spent like $1 million investing in this elk farm, thinking he's just going to cash in on this deer
On
velvet.
the spray and shit?
Yeah, from the elk. And nobody gives
It's
a
a terrible
fuck.
idea.
Well, he thought it was going to be a gangbuster business, but the business dropped like
Is this
right
the same
after
guy
he
that
bought
opened
it.
up a
No.
fucking all-black yoga studio in Seattle?
Oh, those poor fucks. They're
Fucking
getting
horrible
attacked.
idea.
They're getting attacked online, too.
Damn, they showed this fool's record said 3 and 5.
That's a weird thing, you
That's
know.
tough.
Like that's bang on bang, you know. Bang bang on bang.
Bang,
He's that
bang.
guy that this guy's tough too, man.
That guy's 3 and 5. They said.
He's tough. The guy bang on bang is the guy that what is his name? Who did he fight? He fought somebody recently, had a really good fight. I'm trying to remember. But he fought Raymond Daniels, and Raymond Daniels hit him with that spinning, flying 360
nasty.
side kick to the
Yeah,
face.
Love it.
Yeah, he jumped with the front leg side kick, like a flying side kick, and then he touches you with that and spins, and clipped him right on the chin and sent him to La La Land.
Oof.
But Ombang's tough as fuck, man. The other guy I think is from L.A. I think he's he might be from the Yard. I think. Oh shit, nice knee.
How much do these boys make?
Not that much money, man.
Is-
Well, I'm sure Schilling makes good
Like,
money.
is
and
Schilling making
Artem.
good money
Yeah.
tonight, being a headliner? Does anyone know or no?
I don't know. We're guessing. I'm just guessing. You know what? I just root for glory. I love kickboxing. I've always loved kickboxing. I love Muay Thai too. I root for lion fight too.
I almost watch every line fight, every glory.
I watch every one of these,
Me too, man. I don't miss much.
especially lion fight. I like lion fight because they use elbows.
I like line fight 'cause a lot of time there's a lot of new guys on there and they go for fucking broke, man.
They seem to get a lot of like high level Thai guys too.
Correct. And they fly him in against like
Yeah.
an American or
Joe
something.
Nawad. Have you seen Nawad fight? Jesus Christ, he's
I
nasty.
know we've said it before, that Tiff Time Bomb, man. Little
She's
beast.
very good,
If we could
very
just teach her
good.
some takedown defense, you got one on 115.
Yeah, she's very good.
Enjoy that, ladies.
Yeah.
Her versus Joanna. She talked some shit about Joanna's stand-up,
She
too.
said she was basic.
Ooh, basic bitch. Basic bitch. Oh, we got something. Look at me trying to start something. Oh,
Oh, what are you having? Diet Coke, bitch? Basic bitch.
basic bitch. Stupid basic bitch.
What do you got? A fucking blueberry muffin with your coffee, you basic bitch?
Is there anything worse than called a basic bitch if you're
It's
a
pretty
girl?
ruthless, man. It's, well, being called anything, you know, but having someone define you.
Bitch.
But having someone like limited defining you like that, define you, you're limited. It's hard. It's hard out there. It's hard out there.
That's the worst.
Yeah, man. It's words.
Enjoy your coffee, you basic bitch.
But for a girl, though, does a girl have to be more than basic, or can she be basic and hot?
That's tough. No. Well, see the hot factor, you know?
Well, yeah, man. It's like that's nature right there.
That is, man.
But nature
People want to
likes-
hate on it.
Nature
you
likes
know?
that hip to waist ratio.
Hell yeah, we do.
Nature's a big fan of titties. They're universally accepted. It's not like there's a place in the world where you have a perfect set of tits and people go, ugh, get those out of here. There's not a single country where men don't look at juicy tits and go, oh yeah. They're totally useless.
Juicy tits.
They don't do anything for you.
Yeah, they don't make sense.
They don't increase pleasure unless you're fucking them, unless
Yeah.
you're titty fucking. But you see them and your brain goes, oh yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's nature.
There's bags of fat.
Bags of fat
Or-
with
or-
nipples that you can suck on, and they gently put. And if they have weight to them, and the girl's riding you, and you could like hoist them up and suck on them, like oh, everything gets so exciting. Why?
It is- I know,
Because of
they
nature.
do nothing. They
It's
do
nature.
nothing.
Nature wants you to have a wife that has some big old titties, so that when your kids need breast milk, these titties are down to produce.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
ass titties. Dudes are like,
You need
yes.
fat. You need big hips and fat and asses and legs that look like they can run and jump. So you have kids that inherit those traits.
Yeah, man.
If you see a girl with like weird hips and her ass is flat,
Flat
she walks
ass.
with a stumble, you're like, oh no no no
Must
no,
beat
no.
it, basic bitch. I call them basic
Beat it,
bitches.
beat it with your flat feet.
Your flat feet,
And your
flat
fl-
ass.
Why can't you walk straight?
Dude, flat
not
ass.
exciting.
There's nothing worse than a flat ass.
Yeah, I don't mind if a girl has small breasts.
No, we'll figure it
There's
out.
a lot of really hot girls that have small breasts.
We'll have money. We'll figure that out.
Well, it's not
You know
even
what I'm
that.
saying? Well, you know what I'm
Doesn't
saying?
it-
If he gets serious enough, I'll cover this.
Would you though? Would you want to, or would you rather?
100%. Hey, shop sponsor.
You take that over what would you take though if you had the option between a girl with a really nice ass and nice legs and small natural breasts, or a girl with a pretty decent ass, pretty decent legs, but big fake titties?
Bro, ass all day because
Ass
I
all
can
day.
fix the titties. Because they haven't. They
But
haven't.
what if she didn't want to fix the titties? What if that's a deal breaker?
I'm
to
gonna
her?
have to move on.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm not that
brutal.
fucking
You are
mean.
not kidding.
I'm
You just
not
said.
kidding. If you see my girl, she looks like she's from planet Pluto. But the thing, it's so fucked up. But the thing is, they haven't figured out a good way to make ass implants. Like you see a fake ass, it's
No,
the worst thing you've ever seen.
There's a difference, man. There's a difference. The ass thing is like there's factors, right? The titty factor is like the nurturing factor, like that's the attraction, is that she'll be good at nurturing. She has breasts but the ass thing is like an athletic body. It's like an exciting body. Oh, Ombank's getting fucked up. This dude who's 3 and 5 is teeing off.
Said, bitch, I'm 4 and 5. You basic
Boom.
bitch.
Oh yeah, he's 4 and 5 tonight. Look at
4 and
this.
5,
Oh,
motherfucker.
man. I like the fact.
Oh,
Oh, damn! I like
shit.
the fact he's done.
He's done,
He's
done.
done. I
Done,
like the
done.
fact that they throw knees. I do like that. I'm glad they
Vicious
can still
knees.
throw knees. And I think they're allowed to hold only with one hand, though. That's it. This fight's over. He's taking it.
He's done. Yeah, let's go ahead and call this a day, everybody.
Wow, he's standing up.
Worst knee I've ever seen,
Yeah.
Overeem Fujita.
Ooh, yeah,
Remember
was
that one?
bad.
I
How
thought he
about
killed him. Overeem killed a guy.
Overeem Teixeira. Did you ever see that one?
Yes.
Everton Teixeira with the crazy dreadlocks.
Yeah, man.
He hits with a knee, and that dude's like he went down like he was dead.
Dude, Fujita, he was in the ring like, there it goes, face is encaved. Like, he's so fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's uber ream. We're not
Yeah.
talking about normal Overeem
No.
now where it's
No,
like, oh,
no,
we don't know if he's going to win. We're talking about fucking Japan Overeem.
Well,
Good luck
Japan-
with that, everybody.
Japan Overeem once he hit that like K1 Grand Prix heavyweight status. Yeah.
The fuck is
They
going on?
They dug up Nazis that had special science.
Just
and
some,
they-
just some
They
shit.
brought it into the lab. Well, this dude fought
4
very
and
well.
5.
What is his name? Do we know, Jamie?
Good for him, man.
Yeah, I've seen this dude fight before. He's good. That was like a big victory. That was very impressive. Ombank took a beating.
There's that doctor, bro.
Looks like Ari Shafir.
Got his ear pierced.
Well,
Maybe he's wiling out.
I'm sure he is.
If 100%.
He's got some weird chains on his neck too.
Ah, that's
Open chest.
Ah, bummer.
Hey, he's trying to make it happen. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
Dude, if I was like Joe Rogan, Scrooge McDuck rich, I'm hiring scientists to build fake asses like no other,
You don't
bro.
want a fake ass though. That's like
What
these-
happens if a girl has a flat ass?
tough life. It's hard out there. And you don't breed. Just like what happens if, in the wild. What happens if you have unfavorable characteristics?
You get ate up ass first.
That's how it goes.
Bro, but
The
what
way
if we
of the
could
wor-
prevent
It's the way
that?
of the world. It's the way of the world.
That's
But how you
bummer.
can't prevent that with a piece of plastic.
Yeah, you
The
can.
way they're going to prevent it, no. You can give the illusion that you're preventing it, but you know that ass is fake. It's the same thing with lips. Lips, you can't do to lips what you did to tits. They found a crazy loophole with tits, and it works. They snuck in with the tit implants, and everybody's like, well, hey, we could do it there. We could do it everywhere. But you can't. It only works on women's tits. It doesn't work on guys' tits.
Dude, I'm not
If a
mad
guy
at the
gets tit
women's-
implants,
Women's lips.
girls don't want that shit.
Some women's lips, I'm not mad at them. They get a couple.
Okay, we're going to have to talk off the air.
We are.
Yeah.
We really are.
This is nonsense. you're
This is
saying here.
craziness, bro.
Who is this young gentleman here? I've seen him fight before.
Not a full crowd yet. This isn't the
No.
main card, is it?
No. Robert Thomas, Jeffrey. If this is early in the card, this is early.
22, youngster.
Yeah.
My boy on the right is jacked at 34.
I think he's flexing.
Makes sense, though. Right?
Don't you think he's flexing?
100%.
He's got a beautiful beard though, and a mohawk. That's rare in
He
fighters.
looks fresh off the set of 300. Look at him.
I think they're gonna fix it with gene therapy, dude. That's the real fix. This plastic they shove in your ass and make your ass stick out isn't fooling anybody. The same thing with your lips. Like, why are your lips bigger than all the surrounding tissue? That doesn't make any sense.
They
Like,
fool me with the lips. They
Well-
fool me, bro.
Might be a little bit basic.
You know what? I might be a basic bitch.
I like lips. I think girls' lips are like really important when you're kissing a girl and you
Fuck
feel.
yes, for many of reasons, Joe.
Yeah, but if you're feeling like a rubber thing under there, I can't think that would be good. It just looks weird too.
Not if it's done right.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
There's a lot
just
of
think
good
it looks
doctors
weird.
out there.
I hope so. But I think that what you're seeing now is like it's the beginning. Like when they thought that they could put like feathers on people and have them jump off cliffs, and it didn't work
It's
out.
a horrible idea.
No, well, eventually it became an airplane. Like somebody had
Okay.
to
I
keep
thought you were saying like
trying
Okay.
with that thought until they got it right. And now, you get on a Virgin Airlines jet to Boston, and you fucking got the beautiful
it's
red
legit.
mood lighting. You have yourself a champagne. It all started from some asshole with a bunch of feathers who thought he could jump off a cliff.
True.
It has to start there. And right now, these girls that you're looking at with these crazy fake lips and these plastic plates in their asses that make their ass stick out, what they are is the dude with the feather jumping off the cliff.
Yeah.
And their unfortunate demise, when they get tangled up in the branches of the tree below, their unfortunate demise will make people innovate.
True. I'm with you, man.
This fight.
I hope I'm around for that.
Who do we got here, Jamie? Oh, damn. This dude from Canada just landed a beautiful knee to the body. So we're watching these fights. If you're watching these at home, you might not even be able to. There's no way you're going to sync this up. But
no
we'll try to sync it up once we get to Joe Schilling, Stitch him up, who is a little bit later on the card. Once we get to Stitch him up, we'll tell you exactly what time it is, and you can sync this thing up later.
This fight's in, I think, McNichols Arena. That's old school, man.
Is it?
Super old school.
Where's
That's where one of the
McNichols?
first UFCs was at.
Do you miss Denver at all in any way?
You know what? No.
Wow.
It's weird, right? I go back and I feel like I'm in a country western, man. Denver people are going to hate me, but it's whatever, bro. It's true.
It's my favorite spot.
Oh, there's some great spots, and I have great family and friends, but you could not pay me to move back there, man.
Really?
I will never leave LA.
It's my number one choice.
Comedy works.
Outside of California, Colorado's my number one choice. Either
Well, you used to
Evergreen,
live there.
Yep. Evergreen, Boulder, or Denver.
You know
Those
why,
are my
though?
three spots.
You love that nature shit.
I love that
I
nature
don't,
shit.
bro.
You don't like it?
I'll hunt with you, kill some shit, but then I want to go back to Marina Del Rey, jump in my Porsche, and do some weird shit.
As I've gotten older, I appreciate nature way more and more. I feel like it's like something that I just didn't appreciate enough until I got older. Like I think when I was younger, I was always concentrating entirely on doing whatever I'm trying to do, whether it's fighting or getting into comedy,
True.
getting my career in line, like becoming a professional comedian, and then, all the things that I've ever done. I've always been concentrated more on them than anything else. And then as I got older, I started. What brings me pleasure? I started thinking, like, what do I enjoy being around? And one of the things that I enjoyed being around was beautiful nature, like to see a mountain. Like I remember going to, Jesus, I don't know where the fuck it was. Like one of the first. You know what? Here, one of the big one was going to the Aspen Comedy Festival. Man, I went to the Aspen Comedy Festival. I want to say like 2002. I think it was like 2002. Mm. And I was in Aspen, and I was driving with this dude who worked for the festival, and he was telling me how he has elk off of his back porch. I didn't know elk screamed. I had no idea. I didn't know a goddamn thing about elk back then. They scream. Elk bugling. You never heard of elk bugling?
Nah, man.
I recorded some of it from my trip. This is real shit that happened this week.
Hey, elk, make it easier to kill you. They scream.
Oh, they're not easy to kill, man. They're especially with a bow. They're hard, but what it is that they're trying to get some pussy, so they call out to women, to let them know that they're ready to fuck, and they also call out to men. They're ready to challenge them, and they do battle. Like I'll show you some pictures of this dead one that they found.
Damn.
That got stabbed up. He got murked by some other fucking bull, and they're big. These are 1,000-pound animals,
just like the one you killed.
Bigger, as big as the one I killed.
Thing's fucking
the
huge.
one that died was bigger than the one I killed.
Doug.
Bigger.
Who killed him?
Some badass bitch. Listen to this, though. This is what it sounds like.
Hope it sounds like a grown man yelling.
Hold on a second. Here it is. Listen to this. You hear that? That's the guy trying to call them. He's making like a cow call. But listen to the sound that they make when they respond. It's like a monster. That high pitched shit, that's the guide making the call. Now listen to them. You hear that?
Almost sounds like orca whales. Damn.
They scream at each other like that. That really loud one was the guide right next to us with the call. That's one of them screaming.
Damn.
That was an elk. How weird, right?
Then do you listen to that and find out where they're at and just
Yeah.
destroy them?
Well, you got to sneak up on them.
Yeah, but
When
at
you
least
hear
you know
that,
where they're at.
You sneak up on them, and then you hide behind stuff, and you make calls like a cow, so they think they're gonna get some pussy.
Fucking basic bitch elks. Too
And
easy,
they
man.
come screaming too when they're coming towards you. That's one of the most nerve-wracking parts about it. They're like,
Because they think they're
and
about
you're
to fuck.
Exactly.
Dick out.
They're like, "What's up?"
What's
they
up?
Come, they
Oh,
come all over
fuck.
themselves. They piss all over themselves and come all over themselves. They're like their whole underside when you find them and they're rutting is just covered with like cum and piss. They're all wet.
They're looking for a good time.
They're partying.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
You guys just, hey, what's up? Oh, raging boner. Boom. Dead, bro.
It is rude, but it's also how mountain lions find them too. When we were in Colorado, one of the guides I was with told me that they had found this mountain lion on top of this elk, and they found it by following the path that it took once it dragged the elk. So what he found was, like, you could see the mountain lion footprints, and then you could see the elk footprints, and then they collide, and then there's no more mountain lion footprints because the mountain lion is riding the elk's back. So you
God
got this
damn.
1,200-pound elk, and this 150-pound cat is on its back, biting its neck, and it runs like 100, 200 yards with this cat on its back, and then it piles up, and then the cat eats it, and then they
Fuck,
catch
man.
the cat on top of this thing.
You know what, man? I think the reason why I don't get down with nature and mountains and stuff because I grew up in Denver, man. So I was going camping all the time. I was shooting arrows when I was young and shit. So I'm
Yeah.
over it, man.
You're over it.
No, I love the ocean. I can't get enough of the ocean.
Yeah, see, that's it. You're experiencing the new nature. The next. I mean, the ocean is. I rented a place in Malibu for like 3 months this last summer, and I would wake up every morning just looking at that water, going, "Whoa,
I feel like there's nothing
it's
better.
crazy."
Love it.
It's crazy. It's a crazy view, and it's a morphing view. Like in the daytime, it's inviting, and at nighttime, it's terrifying.
Terrifying.
And
Black.
That's the only difference. The only difference is you can't
Weird,
see.
right?
Yeah.
Would you ever live in Malibu?
I don't know if it's wise to buy a home next to the water. I don't know if it's wise to spend several $1 million for a house that's stuck in the sand right in front of the lip of the ocean. You want to talk about basic bitches? Like, are you not paying attention to the entirety of the human history that's been recorded about the changing of the Earth's atmosphere and about how you find cities that are underwater? They were like Roman cities and shit. Now they're underwater. Why are they underwater? Well, they're underwater because the ocean moves. It expands. It's not stuck there. It's not going to stay exactly
If
where
you're
it
looking
is.
for an investment 2,000 years from now, yeah, probably don't buy a house in Malibu. However, for when you're alive, you should be fine, Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe, but maybe not.
I can almost guarantee
How
you'll
about
be fine.
what happened in Japan? That shit could happen in Malibu
Tsunami?
any day. Any day. I have a friend who lives in Pacific Palisades. He's got a nice sweet spot up a hill. And I go, why don't you live by the water? You got a lot of money. He goes, tsunamis. Tsunamis. I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, they happen. He goes, they might not happen, but they happen. And when they happen, guess what? What are you going to hear? You're going to hear a horn in the middle of the night? I sleep with a sound machine. I have a sound machine next to my bed, play sounds of like birds and shit so I could sleep. That's what he said. He goes, I'm not drowning to death.
God damn, that's dark. I mean, fuck, bro. I live right on, I live on the marina. The way
I
they
know.
sold me, they're like, if a tsunami comes, this thing tilts.
Yeah.
It tilts.
Oh, yeah.
I said, really? There, yeah, I'll take
It
it.
tilts.
I'll
Listen,
take it.
Save all that tilt and shit. It's going to fill up with water.
Nah, I'm high up, man.
The real tsunami, the real bad
Yeah, I
motherfuckers,
think it's gonna
the
knock
continent
that bitch
changers,
right over.
it's going to drown it. It's going to be all underwater. Like the idea of like 500 feet of water up and down, that's nothing. In the history of the world, that shit's happened thousands of times.
Bro,
Just
you think you're not a
happens.
real estate agent? Fuck's sake.
I'd be like, look, what you really want to do is you want to be on top of the mountain looking down,
Yeah.
and you want to have a raft up there.
Yeah, man.
You got to have like Noah. Like, you gotta have
Fuck,
the ark.
bro. I don't know if that's a reason not to live by the beach.
No, the
Being
beach is
terrified.
awesome. It's still awesome. If you were like super baller, like Richard Branson type character, you really ideally want 2 houses. You want a house at the top of the mountain. No, you want 3. You want a house at the top of the mountain. You want a fat place in the city.
True.
And then you want a spot on the water.
That's how you want to do it,
If
man.
you're gonna be a fucking super
Yeah.
baller.
Scrooge McDuck style.
Yeah, but you gotta have like, you know, fucking Shell Oil type money. If
You
want to do
think?
it right. A lot of money in having 3 mansions.
Oh, I'm not talking about mansions.
Have some dope
Maybe you have a
houses.
condo downtown, like a dope
Yeah.
ass penthouse.
That's a good move.
Yeah,
right?
man.
I'm not a big fan of living downtown because of the goddamn traffic, but you know,
It's tough, man.
it's brutal.
It's brutal to get down
Downtown's ruthless, but
there. I would never live down there.
it's kind of dope. Like you could walk around downtown now, and there's like these
It's
cool
cleaning
spots.
up, and LA's putting a ton of money into it. They want it to be like the new hot spot, so it's a good place to buy.
They got to kill bums.
They're
It's
gonna
the
have to
only
kill
way.
some bums. They're gonna have to kill some bums.
People are like, what the fuck you said? We're kidding, folks. We're not kidding.
I'm not
You're
kidding.
gonna
If
have
it
to kill some
raises the
bums.
property value, we're gonna have to get rid of them. No, I'm just kidding.
This guy, first of all, this dude from Canada is a motherfucker, dude. The guy in the black shorts, is he from Canada?
The
He is,
youngster,
right?
22?
Yeah. Dude, he's badass, man. This is a tough fight. That other dude is taking some serious body shots. 3rd round here. I just think that the bum thing is it's all bullshit aside. You know, obviously I don't think you should kill him, but when you stop and look at him, it's a horrible indictment of how flawed our current system of community is. That our community allows people to get so disenfranchised. There's an entire like a
Colony.
whole ecosystem of people in downtown LA.
No, I get that. I look at them, they make me sad.
I
don't
think
wanna live there.
people don't know what we're talking about. Like if they've
Skid
never
Row?
seen Skid Row. Like these people that are listening to us, go, oh, you're being so mean about homeless people.
Nah, man.
This is a different thing.
It's like Walking Dead, but
Yeah.
imagine all the zombies in one place, and they will eat your dick off for crack.
It is really crazy. It's one of the craziest things you'll ever see.
There's a ton of them in Venice too, man.
Oh, yeah.
a ton in Venice.
Yeah, they get uncomfortable too when you're at those Venice beach spots.
Yeah,
where
man.
they gather and they want money from tourists, so they start begging.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, there's a lot of crazy people. That's really what it is. It's a mental health issue.
That gets thrown around a lot for everything, right? I think some of them are mental health, and I think some are just like fuck it, man.
Yep. I think also though saying "fuck it" though is a bit of a mental health issue.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Or is it just called giving up?
I think even that is mental health. Like, don't you think it's healthy to have good friends? It's healthy to be a good friend. It's healthy to be in love. It's healthy to be fulfilled by your pursuits in life, whether it is your artistic pursuits or athletic pursuits or your career pursuits. Those are health issues. It's like, isn't it healthy to exercise, right? That's a physical health issue. Actually, he doesn't exercise.
That's
well,
a
then he's
choice.
not right. But when you talk and consider physical health is dependent upon choices. It's dependent upon dietary choices, and it's dependent upon choices that you make as far as like how much exercise you do, and that's your health. I think mental health is the same thing. I think there's aspects of mental health that are undeniable, just like there's aspects of physical health that are undeniable. There's people that are born with horrible physical diseases, and there's not much they can do physically to overcome those.
True.
And there's all sorts of deformities and all sorts of real problems that people have that are physical. But then there's also people that are just fucking overeating lazy fucks, and they develop heart disease. Well, isn't that a physical health issue? Well, it most certainly is. And how that physical health issue manifest itself? Through choices and decisions and your actions.
True.
And so then it becomes a mental health issue as well. So it's a physical health issue, but it's also a mental health issue because it's your mental health that is out of line that allows your physical health to get so fucked up.
But also, people's experiences in life, I don't know if I'd say it's a mental health issue where they have an issue with their brain, you know what I'm saying, where it's chemically different. Sometimes they might not have had the same opportunities as other people and just say, listen, man, fuck this. Like maybe they lost a family member, maybe they lost their job, and it's
Yep.
like, I'm sick of this shit, man.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
there's some of that.
But I think that could be considered a mental health issue. I think
I
because
have a problem with people chalking up everything as mental health. Like these shooters, these random shooters. It's always a mental health thing.
Yes.
Right? Oh,
right.
It's a mental health thing.
You're right.
Man, that's an easy getaway. They might just be fucked up, man. Bad people.
Yes.
Can we chalk some things up if people are just evil, man?
We could, but that also is, I think, could be considered a mental health issue. And I think the word mental health, we get thrown around like, we look at health and disease and issues like that are where you're not balanced and in order. We look at it like, oh, Jimmy caught gonorrhea. Well, that guy's got a disease, he needs penicillin. But if you're just a lazy fuck that eats like shit and eventually your heart gives out, you have heart disease. And that is a physical disorder. It's a physical disorder that came from you not having discipline for whatever reason, making poor choices. So it manifests itself in a physical condition. It could also manifest itself in a mental condition, because you could be at a point where, are we giving up on that feed? Is that what's going on?
I got a lot of messages just saying that was the prelims and that the main card is going on now live.
Oh, nice, on the West Coast.
So it was just the
I had the link
prelims
from their
live?
website, and that was what it was playing. So the main card supposedly is live now. That's
Oh, so what we were when they were saying that we were watching the prelims. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So okay, now that we have that, let's put up the card on the. Okay, cool. But I think the word disease is an issue, and the word health is an issue, because it's really like we categorize things like health and disease, and we get real rigid with how we look at them. We look at things like health and disease, like people that have disorders, when you have addictions, when you have compulsions, when you have negative behavior that you can't help but keep continuing to repeat over and over again, self-sabotaging behavior, that is a mental health issue. When you have obsessive, like you're a stalker, you start stalking a girl, you won't leave her alone, you're obsessed with her, you check her Facebook, you check her, like that obsession is a disorder. Like you could call it a mental health issue, you could call it behavioral malfunction.
True.
But you're not healthy mentally, and so it is a mental health issue. Like if you go into a school and you shoot people, 100% you have a mental health issue. 100%, 100%. The issue is you can't be mentally healthy and want to go and shoot random people just so people know your name. You can't want that. If you want that, you are mentally unwell. And so I think when we look at things like, oh, it's not his fault, he has a mental health disorder. Oh, that's just a cop-out. Well, no, he's responsible for whatever that disorder is, but he most certainly has a disorder. Like when someone's a rapist, Bill Cosby, okay? He's got a mental health issue. It doesn't exonerate him. It doesn't say that he should be free and no one should prosecute him, and he should somehow or another be treated instead of locked up.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But you have to have a mental health issue in order to drug women and fuck them when they're unconscious. You have to have a total disconnect for feeling about that woman's health, her safety, her physical solidarity, or her physical her ability to like own her own body and own her own consciousness. Like for you to want to bypass that with a pill so you could stick your dick in her, like you have to be mentally unwell.
What if he was raised that way?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because you can be mentally raised to be racist, like we were talking before.
Yes.
Or you can be raised in a mental pattern where you're homophobic. All those are absolutely 100% possible. But at the end of the day, you're still mentally unwell. Like you're mentally unwell because of the way you were raised. You're mentally unwell in spite of the way you were raised. It doesn't matter. You're mentally unwell. Like, and I think if we look at behavior like overall, like what is conducive to a happy experience for you and the people that you encounter? What is conducive to you being fulfilled in your life and having great friendships and great relationships? What is conducive to that? Well, if you move towards that and you try to eliminate all the errors that you keep repeating and making, and you recognize those,
then
that's
you're healthy.
That's healthy.
Well, this is the thing though. So if I am have mental health issues, there's a lot of negative that comes with it, right? So if I have this weird inclination to molest boys or whatever for whatever
How
reason.
dare you?
Well, for whatever it is, or to rape girls.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's gonna be tough to get help, right? Because you have this negative connotation with it.
Sure.
So that's why it keeps going on.
Well, that's
you know what I'm saying?
certainly a part of it, and
Because
also
there's no, and I'm not promoting any of this fucking bullshit, but I'm just saying there's no like safe house for them, right? Like they can't go
Yeah.
up and be like, hey man, listen, I have this weird fantasy where I fucking love to molest little kids. People are like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like there's no outlet for them.
It's true. I mean, to have a fantasy where you victimize small children is like the most taboo and forbidden fantasy ever. You can't even jerk off to that.
But if you
can't-
have that,
you can't
you're
even
fucked.
pretend.
You're
Yeah.
super fucked.
Well, say if a guy, say if you're married, right, and you know, maybe your wife puts on a few pounds, but you want to stay married and you don't want to cheat on her, and you know she doesn't want to have sex anymore, or maybe she's older and she gets the menopause, and you just go into your garage or wherever the fuck you keep your porn, and you whack one off every now and then. Just whack one off to stay
Sure,
sane.
yeah.
Everything else is great, but when you're closing your eyes, you're whacking off and you're looking at porn, you're looking at some dirty girl with a tattoo on her lower back and she's sucking dick and you just want to come in her mouth.
Yeah, sure.
See, you're allowed to indulge those fantasies if you're a man. Like if you're a guy who has no chance whatsoever of banging some super hot porn star,
10, yeah.
you could still jerk off watching her fuck. You can
Because
still,
that's what you like.
yeah, you could still jerk off watching someone just hold her hair and just mouth fuck her. You can do that. And no repercussions. Like you could never have sex with that girl ever, but you could jerk off to her having sex and have no repercussions.
Because that's your taste.
Right, but if your taste is like young boys, like twinks, like 15-year-old
It's gonna be
twinks,
tough, my man.
you have nothing.
You're
Everything
Jared
is
from Subway.
illegal.
Yeah.
It doesn't even mean that you want to go out and have sex with those young boys, like, or you plan on having sex with those boys. Like, you can't even jerk off to them. So it leads me to question, like, what happens if in the future they figure out virtual reality? Like, they get virtual reality to a point where it's just you can't.
Anything goes.
Anything goes in virtual reality. So you have these artificial young boys that blow you. Will that be illegal? Because no one's getting hurt there. These artificial boys are made out of 3D polygons. They're connected together with some video effects engine.
It's hard to argue because it satisfies the urge, right? And they're not doing it to actual humans.
Yeah, right. But you
You're gonna
want
get some
to
weird shit,
eliminate
man.
that urge, though. You want to cut it out of the society.
Okay, so what do you
You wanna
do?
nip it in
Kill
the
these
bud.
guys? Yeah. All right, I'm with you. Them and the
I
bums.
think you might have to.
Them and the bums. Them and the bums. See ya.
I wish there was a way to just rewire you. I mean, in all
I bet they
fairness.
do too. I bet a lot of people do who have
yeah.
all those issues.
Of course.
Those real dark people
Yeah.
who are unhappy. You don't think they wish they could be rewired?
Sure, man. Even gamblers. You ever
Shit,
meet
I'll
a guy
take some
who's like a crazy
rewiring on
gambler?
a few things.
Yeah. You know, it was really interesting. Someone was talking to me about this fat guy that I know, and his wife was saying that it's kind of crazy because, first of all, that guy, what's his name, Halsey? That
Halsey.
is the biggest 185-pounder.
That is a large human
That
being.
guy's gigantic for 185.
Oh, I like
Michael
this
Page.
Yeah, I like that
he's,
Michael
he's
Page.
ridiculous.
He's fun to watch.
His talents are almost wasted in that division that he's competing against. He needs to fight like
He's
a
fighting
much
bums.
higher caliber
Yeah.
of fighter.
He's collecting paychecks.
What was I just saying? What were we just talking about?
Oh, you have a fat friend.
Oh, and his wife was like, here's the difference between being addicted to anything else. Like, if you're addicted to cigarettes, you stop smoking cigarettes, and then, you know, you kick the habit. But if you're addicted to food, you have to eat food.
It's a legit point.
It was a very legit point. And I thought about it, and I went, whoa.
It's a super legit point.
Obviously, I don't have food issues. I don't have, a real food addiction. But over the last 9 days, I quit eating sugar. Lost 6 pounds now, as of today, 6 fucking pounds. And I'm not trying. Like, I'm just eating normal. I'm
And
doing
you're
the
not,
same.
You're not doing more cardio or
Nope.
anything?
Nope. Same amount. Everything's the same.
Same-
Workouts the
everything's the
same.
same.
Everything's the same.
But you were getting your sugar from where? From these fucking
everything,
mango
dude.
things, which
no,
I
those
just
are
ate
natural.
a bag
No,
full
those are,
of?
oh, the mango things. Yeah, I thought you were C2O. C2O is just delicious and sweet, but that's natural. That's just the
So if
coconut
it's from fruit or
water.
whatever, you're
Yeah,
good.
fruit's fine. I've been eating bananas every day, and I eat oranges and apples. I eat a lot of fruit, but like those mangoes, those chili mangoes are so goddamn good.
I haven't ate much today. I came in, I saw that bag, and I thought, you know what? YOLO. Fuck this.
YOLO.
When's the last time you heard YOLO? I don't know why that came out of my mouth. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. I don't even talk like that.
It's got added sugar. That's the problem. It's not just the sugar from the dried mangoes. They put sugar and then the chili sauce together, the chili pepper together.
Mangoes from heaven is what I say.
Good.
Heaven
so
dust.
good.
Oh, you mean sugar? I'm fucking addicted, man.
So I go 9 days in, and I decide I'm going a month in. I'm going to see what happens when I make it to a month.
You know what, though? You're a real disciplined type of dude who can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you stick something, you're fucking sticking to it.
Yeah,
That's one thing I know about you.
I definitely do. But what I'm thinking is, while I'm doing this, I'm like, man, I don't even have an issue. And this is, like, overwhelming my thoughts, like, a lot of the day. Like, where I see, like, a hot dog with a nice white roll on a white bun, that white bread, I'm not eating any of that shit. I'm not eating that. So I see that hot dog with fucking sauerkraut on it. Ooh, you ever go to Home Depot and they have the hot dog cart in front of Home Depot?
Bro, those things are so fucking good. Motherfucker.
To get me. I'm there for a hammer. I'm trying to buy a hammer. I'm not trying to buy a hot dog.
Dude. I end up walking out with that hot dog and a churro. And then they got that churro, and I'm like, fuck it. You know what? I'll wash it
Disneyland
down
gets
with
me
a
with them
Coke.
goddamn churros.
Bro, the churros and the funnel cakes. I got Mickey Mouse ears on and shit, feeling like shit.
I'm done, dude. I'm not no sugar for this month. So I'm gonna see what happens, and at the end of the month, I'm gonna see how I feel and what I look like.
This is I'm assuming everyone in your household's this way.
Yeah.
Because if they're not, you're gonna have troubles.
No, I'm not gonna have
I
troubles.
used to date a girl who I was trying to eat real healthy, but she literally had crazy genetics. She would eat fast food every night. So I'd be like eating fucking, broccoli and chicken. She's balls deep in a 12-piece chicken nugget. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, man.
It is, but when I get it in my head, it doesn't matter. You could eat pizza right in front of me.
You're a beast with it.
Well, I have switches. I have like, okay, now you don't do this anymore. And that's it. And once I don't do that anymore, I don't do that anymore. Because then if I do it, if I give in, that'll permeate itself in the rest of my life. That'll leak itself into my comedy, leak itself into my workouts, it'll leak itself in everything.
Do you do that with your social life? If someone fucks you over, you're like, you're dead to me. Off.
Yes. As soon as
I would assume.
As soon as they, like, you will run into people that will, like, either sabotage you or do a bad business deal with you or try to fuck you in some way. And, you can't hate them. I forgive them, like, as a person, but I won't associate with them anymore.
Ever again?
No.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to, like, have some insane apology with a real explanation, and then we'd probably have to work our way back to a friendship real slow.
Yeah.
But when someone fucks you over, you can't tolerate that, because those people become problems, and those people, that's a pattern that like if you have a friend, and like especially like you hear about friends going into business together, and then like they start a restaurant or something, and one guy fucks off with the cash, and they wind up fighting each other.
Yeah,
like,
man.
My stepdad and his he had a business partner in an architectural firm, and they beat each other up one day.
Should it beat each other up?
Like, he came home and he had a black eye, and he was, in his 40s, and I was a kid, and I was like, well, first of all, I was fighting back then. I was like, this bitch has zero skills. It's like, what did this fight look like because I knew his
basic ass stepdad.
The worst.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's a good guy. He wasn't a bad person, but I knew the guy he fought with too. I'm like, that's even more ridiculous that guy gave you a black eye, because that has to be
Think how mad they were,
insane.
though.
They were so mad. Well, it was a very complicated situation where they had government contracts, and then the government lost money. Like there was a recession, and during the recession they canceled a lot of their contracts. And so these guys had put all this time and work and effort into these projects, and the projects were pulled out from under them, and all their investment was done.
Super fucked.
It was really bad, and they all. I'm sure there was a lot of blame on both sides, and who knows what the fuck happened. But it's weird when you see someone come home.
Your stepdad got
He's
sucker
got a
punched.
black eye. I'm like, what?
Huh?
Earth. Like, if I was Brendan Schaub, I'd be like, for sure, keep your hands up next time. For sure, don't let them get that close to you.
Bro,
Talking shit to each
I
other.
saw my dad get in a fight when I was 12. I'm not making this up. Whatever, fucking cars, right? My dad pulls in front of him. He pulls in front of my dad. He gets out. My dad goes, "You want to fucking go?" My dad's like,
Oh no, like an old school Irish
I was
boxer.
Like, oh no! I remember being like 10 or 11, being like, "Ah, fuck, man."
See, the problem with that is Nick Diaz can actually fight like that.
Oh, my
If
dad
Nick
beat
Diaz
the
get
brakes off this dude.
Did he?
Son, yeah, it was about to throw him off the side of the highway in a
no.
leather jacket.
Oh no!
Yeah, did not fuck around.
When a guy stands out like that, starts doing the old school boxing, one of two things can happen. He's trying to scare you off, or he's so good with his hands,
Yeah, dog.
he's just kind of roll at you like, "What's up, dude? You want some?" Bang!
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What you gonna do now?
It was weird,
You're
man.
in a bad situation.
I'll tell you what, for reals, man. I remember my dad getting on the car. I'm like, God damn it. And then my brother gets out, kicks the guy in the balls from behind. My brother's probably 12 at the time.
Jesus Christ!
You know
Your
what?
brother kicked a grown man in the balls.
Grown man in the balls.
Oh, that's when it gets really dangerous
Well,
because
that-
the kid gets involved, and
I
then
know,
the
man.
father becomes like super violent.
You know what Little Brown was doing?
What was little Brown
Crying
doing?
in the back seat.
How old were you?
Probably like 10 or 11, crying in the back seat. Ugh, can't be trusted if shit goes down.
Oh man.
Crying.
I never saw my stepdad fight, but I saw him almost get in a fight once. We got in a minor car accident, like a little fender bender, when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I was these young kids in this other car, and they got out swearing and yelling. And I was like, oh no. I was so scared.
So scared.
I was so scared because he wasn't a tough guy either. And
Please tell me you cried.
I felt
or no.
so
Did you
vulnerable.
cry or no?
I don't know. I might have. I don't think so because I don't think it got to the point where anybody hit anybody. So I would definitely have cried if they hit each other.
Yeah.
I would have been terrified. But that's how people die. You know, that's how people wind up killing the whole family. Like,
True, man.
Knock the guy out. The guy falls, hits his head. You go, we got to get rid of the family. And they murk your wife,
everybody.
murk your kids.
Fucking-
That shit happens. You know, you run into the wrong biker gang.
True,
You know,
man.
and they're methed up and trying to prove their hardness.
For sure,
Weird-
just
weird
drive
shit
over him in
happens.
your car, but
You know, you're the wrong race. You know, you're a black guy, and there's you have a white girlfriend maybe. Who the fuck knows, man?
yeah, man.
Anything can happen. How about transgender people? How about a transgender person gets in a car accident with a bunch of fucking amped up dudes?
Oh, they're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, and you're on a dirt road somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and you just decide to beat this guy to death.
Dude, I need a gun. For reals, man.
If you need
I
a
need
gun,
a fucking gun.
most people really need a gun.
Oh, yeah. That should alarm everybody because I can fight.
Yeah, it's
People
weird
need a
thing,
gun.
right? It's a weird thing out there. You could run into the wrong people. And I've had people say that to me, like, you're so paranoid. You know, like, why do you want to learn martial arts? Like, I had this conversation with Mark Maron once about this. You know, it's like, well, is that really going to happen? Like, you really worried about it? Like, I've seen it. Like, I know bad people. I've seen people do bad things to people.
Yeah,
I've
man.
seen people hit people when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
I've
Tim
seen
Kennedy
people
said
hurt
the same
people.
thing because I asked him, I'm like, why should I have a gun? He's like, because if shit goes down, you want to be prepared, man. He goes, I never go anywhere without a gun. He goes, because my wife and my kids are depending on me. He goes, so
Yeah.
what happened if that guy has a gun? And yeah, I have all these fighting skills. What the fuck am I going to do? He goes, I would never let them down.
And he's, world-class fighter.
World class. And he's saying this. I was like, damn, I need a gun.
But he's
I
also...
tried buying one off the black market.
Why would you do that
from
when you can
him,
get one for real?
From him.
Shh.
And he was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, don't even say you
That was a
tried.
joke. It was a joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lie. We lied. We just lied?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yo,
good.
100%. He made fun
But
of
you can
me.
get one, legally,
You got a
fairly
guy?
easily.
You got a guy?
Yeah,
No,
no,
I'm
just,
winking at
it's
you. You
not
got a guy?
hard. Yeah,
You got
wink,
a
wink
guy?
back.
Wink
It's not
back?
hard. Wink, wink, wink. It's not hard to get a gun in California. It's one
you
of the
got to fill
weird
out paperwork
things.
and shit. And
Not hard.
do I have to take lessons?
No, that's what's crazy. Whose
in.
phone is that? Is that mine or yours? How annoying.
Definitely not mine.
You don't have to fill out paperwork. At least you didn't when I did. I mean, for paperwork as far as take a test.
Yeah.
know,
Just kind of give me the goddamn thing.
It's not hard. Like hunter safety, like when you take a hunter safety course, you do most of that online, and then you go and take a class.
Is there a wait class? Yeah, I don't want to do that. Is there? I'm gonna go black market. Is there a is there a waiting period
For what?
for a gun?
Rifle? Yes, yes, sir.
Not a rifle.
Federal.
I don't want.
For
I don't want a
handgun,
rifle.
for any kind of firearm. There's a gun. There's a waiting period. They have to find out if you're crazy. They have to find out if you're a felon that's running from the law. They have to find out if you're really Brennan Schaub.
Google
Might
me,
be
bro.
some-
Give me a goddamn gun.
Google me, bro.
Google me, bro. Give me a goddamn gun.
You could get a gun, man. It wouldn't be any problem. But Joey Diaz can't get a gun. Joey Diaz is a felon.
That makes sense.
Yeah, if you're a felon, you can't get a gun.
That's.
Yeah, it's tricky, man.
I love Joey Diaz, but makes sense.
If you just look at his record on paper,
yeah, it's tough
It's
to
like,
sell
yeah.
that guy a gun.
well, it seems like a questionable move.
Legit. I mean, there's reason for the law.
You watch his podcast. You ever watch the morning thing that he does?
Where
He
tokes
gets
up.
high, the
Yeah.
morning joint.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Is he
fucking
is
love
he doing
those.
on Periscope?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
stopped fucking Periscope, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. People got super excited about it, but the excitement waned.
It went away, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't like it either. And then
whatever
Facebook's
reason.
doing video streaming, you know.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
on
that's
video
right.
streaming now.
That's right.
For however long you want.
Dude, we should start streaming on Facebook.
That's what
Can
people
we
are
stream on
saying.
Facebook?
And
We
cut out the middleman, YouTube.
Well, YouTube's not bad too. YouTube, we make money off YouTube. Make money off ads. They play ads. In the
Oh, for
beginning of
sure.
your podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make money off videos. I make money off my haters' videos. People make mean videos about me. I put ads on them.
Tight move, Joe Rogan. Tight move, man. Shit.
That's fun money.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah,
Keep
it's all.
hating.
Ultimately, I mean,
Do you get that much hate, though?
sure.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
I don't see it.
You got to look around.
I don't see it. Well, I don't look at forums
People,
and shit like that.
if people hate every show that is on the air, there's going to be a certain percentage. Like we were talking about, like you have a guy like that I was talking about, that Milo guy, but even you or even Callen or anyone who I love, there's going to be a certain percentage of people that fucking hate them, can't stand them.
Yeah.
There's just, everybody's not for everybody. That dude went down from those fucking leg kicks, man.
Some big boys.
That dude on the left is throwing some nasty leg kicks. That white guy's getting ate up. He's down from those leg
Some
kicks. man.
really big boys.
When you see like good high level kickboxing, it makes you realize like a lot of the kickboxing that you see in MMA, especially
Oh, it
like at
doesn't
this
compare.
level, it just doesn't compare.
Not-
like
it's
look at
not
what you're
even
watching
close.
here.
Yeah.
These guys are going. Whoa,
Oh,
that
that
guy's
homeboy's
holding
about
himself up.
Homeboy wants out.
Yeah, he does.
Kick
He's-
one more
oh,
time. Kick one more
Jesus.
time, son.
That left leg kick.
Yeah, for sure don't bend over like
Yeah,
that.
when he kicked that left leg, you could see that thunderbolt of pain go up into his dome. Yeah, people hate everything, man. There's somebody out there that hates fucking Led Zeppelin. Somebody out there that hates Bob Seger. There's somebody out there that wants Billy Joel to jump into the river and drown in his
True.
own feces.
As long as it's 60-40, you're good. But if everyone hates you, you
Yeah.
might just be fucked
I don't
up.
even think 60-40 is good.
40-60?
I think what's probably good is like 80-20 or 70-30.
Yeah, it should be on the higher end, for sure. Otherwise, you're just a dick.
60-40 is like, maybe you need to tighten up your fucking game a little bit.
Tighten it up. You suck.
And it's also like there's like a problem with doing things like a podcast because you're talking and you might have an opinion that is not the same as the person who's listening to, and they can't talk back, and it's fucking frustrating. Like you're talking some shit about like maybe some music that they love or some food that they love or whatever the fuck it is, and they're listening and they get mad. Like, I'm fucking tired of listening to this bullshit. You know, you fucking idiot, you don't know shit, and it's because it's an intimate relationship, but it's very one way.
True, but however, if you listen to 100 Joe Rogan podcasts, the Joe Rogan Experience, you listen to 100 and one of them piss you off, and then you become a hater off that one.
Well,
lose my fucking number.
That
You know what I'm
doesn't
saying?
necessarily have to be the case. They could be a hater from the jump, you know?
Oh, well, then they're just a hater. Then they're
Yeah.
looking for any reason.
There's just always a bunch of...
I'll tell you what, man. The smartest thing I ever did was that podcast. Before that, I got so much hate. There's so much fucking
Well, people got
hated
to
me,
understand
and I
you.
get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I dress like Jay Leno, and I get a fucking part in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get
The
it.
part looks good.
Yeah, it depends who you ask.
I like
I
it.
look like a giant
doesn't like
Tobey
it?
Maguire. It just depends. People hate, you know?
They don't matter.
No, I agree. They don't matter. I'm just saying the best thing I ever did was the podcast. Because people are like, oh, he's not that big of a dick.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they didn't understand a lot of like when you would say things like this is just your personality, your sense of humor. Like
Yeah.
they think this guy like really thinks he's the shit. Well,
Yeah, not at
yes and no.
Yeah.
Like in a way, yeah, but in another way, no. Like
Not
he's
really.
having fun.
Yeah.
Like this is fun.
Yeah.
What is this Kevin Hart and this soccer player thing?
David Beckham, this soccer player.
The soccer player that they always try to sneak in on us. Not buying it. I get it.
David Beckham?
I get it. He's cute. Whatever. Get
He's
out of here.
retired, too.
Well, whatever he is, get out of here. It's not working.
Oh, man.
Hello. I
He's a
live in
cutie pie.
America, land
It's
of the
true.
free, home of the brave. We don't give a fuck who the world ping pong champion is. Okay.
What's soccer, bro?
Same thing.
He's the captain
Soccer,
of England for a
ping
long
pong,
time.
Darts. Who gives a fuck?
Darts.
It's like his fate was sealed when he came over to L.A. to play with the Mexicans. His fate was sealed. They didn't even give a fuck about him. A few like really
We got
horny
him
girls.
late, bro.
A few really horny girls in their 30s came down because they were like super attracted to him, but
Dude,
it didn't work.
David Beckham
Didn't work.
does work, son.
No, I'm saying it didn't work as far as like getting us to buy into soccer.
No.
It did not work.
Did not
It
work.
did not
We
work.
paid him like $1 jagillion.
Yeah, it didn't work.
And like 7 people
Nobody
showed
gave a
up.
fuck.
No one gave a
You're
fuck.
like, this is still soccer. David Beckham is our ticket. What we need is a recognizable face.
We got him too late. We got him too late.
Didn't matter if he's
Did not
fucking
matter.
Diego Maradona in his prime and he's got a dick that's made out of gold. It doesn't matter. It's
yeah.
still soccer.
It's soccer's tough.
Yeah, if that guy was playing baseball,
Oh
holy
my God,
shit,
what?
he would make A-Rod. You know, I mean, the damage that guys like A-Rod do. I mean, he would make that look silly.
I agree. I
He
agree.
He would
looks
be
way better.
He's a beautiful man.
Wow, the
He's all
dime piece.
tattooed up too, but he doesn't have the
Accent.
build. Doesn't have the build because in soccer it's like not important to have muscles.
Bitches
It's got
dig
no
that
muscles.
skinny look, I feel like.
Some
though.
bitches,
Maybe.
the ones you don't want to fuck.
You're
Trust me.
probably right.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. What do you want those?
Nah.
Those
light
girls
in
who
the
want a
ass.
guy that's tight. He's tired all the time. A guy like a weak frame. Guy who gets
Yeah.
neck pains.
Mm.
That's not what they want.
Nah, that's not what they want.
They want a big brown
The
on
big
top of them. They want that super athlete dick. There's that the stoppage of that fight. Well, some girls like real skinny dudes. Oh, in all seriousness, some girls like dudes that look like they're like don't eat.
I think I saw a study where the most appealing for women was like kind of that dad bod, like not a real ripped dude, but not a fat
Yeah,
dude.
you
It's
know
kind
who
of
wrote
in
that
between.
study? Some fat dude is trying to get some pussy. It's bullshit. They're trying to.
Are you hating on whoever wrote that 'cause you're
what
ripped?
they're doing is they're trying to get into the heads
Where they say it's
of all
okay.
the women out there and like hypnotize them.
That's true.
Well, they already did it with the fucking skinny bitches. The models that look like coat racks. Girls look at those models and think that's what they need to look like.
For other girls, not for guys.
Right, but they think that's what they're supposed to look like. If they
know.
just wanted to look good for guys, they would listen to us, and
called
they would
honey
just be
dicking,
doing
Joe.
squats, and they would be eating pasta all
Rice
day.
every
Yeah.
night. Rice, squats,
Potatoes,
rice,
sour
squats.
cream.
Boom, sour cream.
Pork chops. Don't be
Carb
scared
up.
of pork chops.
Don't be a basic bitch. Carb up.
Carb up and run stairs.
Run stairs.
You got to work those gluteus maximus. But to like women who like look at those like really tall, thin women, they think that that's what they have to achieve.
Who the fuck? Who
Again,
the fuck?
It's from television, man. It's from movies. It's from books. It's from magazines, rather.
So what do the guys get? The guys get we look towards what? The
Well-
Rock and shit, Muscle Fitness.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's like ridiculously like
Bieber?
ripped people, like guys who are just like super shredded 6-pack guys, are sitting around like almost like that guy when he took that photo shoot didn't eat for at least a day, dehydrated himself to show his abs.
Oh, he was on an 8-week fucking
Yeah.
cut to get there.
When you see ads and guys look insanely ripped and they have like chiseled 6-packs, either they're a freak of nature, which is occasionally you have those.
Yeah.
A guy who just looks insane no matter what he does, like the Kevin Randleman look, you know,
True.
like just, or
Oh, you mean black people?
that's what I was gonna get to.
Sorry, bro.
Or
Sorry.
you got a guy who is preparing for a photo shoot who's in a very unhealthy and dehydrated state. You know, when you see those guys, for people that don't know, if you watch bodybuilding and you see those guys and they're on that podium, that stage, and they're flexing and you see the striations, they will black out. If you made those guys run up a hill, they would literally black out and fall down. They have zero endurance.
They would die if that competition lasted 4 days.
Oh,
They'd
yeah.
be dead.
They'd be dead. They'd be dead.
Dead.
If it was like an endurance thing where you had to keep the competition going over days and days, they would be gone.
Dead.
They would be gone.
Yeah, they don't look like that.
Yeah, it's not healthy. You can't do that. So if men had a body dysmorphia thing, it would be about being ripped. Like
Yep.
that's why when that girl was fucking with you
100%.
and saying you were soft, you're like,
Yeah.
she's saying you don't look like this unrealistic person from these magazines that I finger myself to.
And I said, bitch, you don't look like Nicki Minaj. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
But Nicki Minaj, she wasn't even popular.
Back then, she wasn't popular.
Didn't really work.
I probably said,
Did you guys have an argument over it?
no, I was just like,
You were hurt?
oh, yeah. And I was like, sad.
I used to date this girl. Used to tell me about her ex-boyfriend. She dated this big, giant bodybuilder dude that he used to pick her up and fuck her up against the wall. And
Hey,
I'm like,
man.
do you really think I want to hear that?
Yeah, don't wanna know that
like,
stuff.
Why do you want to tell me about some big guy who used to pick you up and fuck you against the wall. Because I can pick you up and fuck you against the wall. You're not that big.
Yeah,
if you want to do that,
special.
Yeah, I'm strong enough to do that, but I don't need to know about other dudes fucking you.
I like to pretend
specific
dude,
way
I
that
pretend
you really
my girl.
like.
I'm the first one. I don't fucking picture any of that, man.
I used to do a bit about that. That every girl should say, "Is that what a dick looks like? I'm so glad I waited."
That would be great. That's fucking brilliant. Speaking
This
of
is how I've always thought would be the best way to suck it, and then just do an ace 5-star
porno style,
Yeah,
just like
gulp,
damn
gulp,
girl,
gulp.
shit,
Yeah,
wifey.
and you're like, "Wait a minute, how'd you learn?" Hold, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I'll just
wanna know.
pretend you fucking learned it off videos. Dude, speaking of dicks, did you see? Speaking of dicks,
Justin Bieber's dick? Is that what you're gonna bring
Yes.
up? I knew it.
dude, I knew it.
I knew it.
knew it.
I knew you were gonna bring up his
Dude.
dick. He's got a good dick.
Good sized hoggy on him.
Kid's happy.
Kids
Do you
killing the
think-
game, bro.
Do you think that maybe he like pulled it out a little, fluffed it
Got a
up,
little blood flow.
knew everybody was gonna see it?
You know, he had that dime piece of a girl waiting on the couch, so I'm sure he
helps.
boned her. He's Justin Bieber, and then was like, you know what? I'm gonna get butt naked, play some guitar on the balcony, and someone caught him. Like, I don't think he's walking around with that big old hog like that.
That's true, but also
He's
maybe
gifted, though.
Maybe he doesn't give a fuck. Maybe when you have $300 million and you're 19, you're like, maybe I'll just go show my hog to everybody.
For real,
Take
just
my
like,
hog out for a walk.
especially
Take my hog out on the balcony.
take this hog out for a little stroll.
And he's got to think, like, as famous as he is, that everything he does, he's constantly got people trying to take pictures of him.
You know what? Like, if you have that hoggy though, it's like fuck it. Why not?
Let it out.
Yeah, let it breathe, bro. Let it shine. Quit hating on the dick.
That's a good point. It's
Yeah,
a very
right.
good point.
You know, legit point. Good for him.
See, that's something. Forget about squats. Forget about tit implants, lips. They're not a goddamn thing you can do.
Nothing.
Isn't that incredible? That if you look at the game, the genetic game, all right, one of the number one things is dick size. Number one things.
Number one.
One of the number one things. And that is the one fucking nut that science can't crack. We could put a man on the moon. We can send video from your fucking cell phone to a dude in Australia instantaneously. You could download Netflix on the ride to the airport. I mean, you're pulling movies out of the sky.
You can do some shit.
God damn, you can do some shit. You could Skype with people that are on the other side of the planet, talk to them in real time, look at them like I'm looking at you. That's all possible. Can't fix that dick.
Can't fix that
Sorry.
dick, bro. Sorry.
How close are you getting? Not
Not
close,
close,
at all.
man.
Not
We
close.
can't
Nothing.
figure shit out.
Nothing. We could cut the tendon at the bottom and stretch it out, but I mean, you know,
Good luck
whatever.
with that, though. That
What
gives
can
you
they
me
do?
half an inch. My buddy, I won't say his name, obviously, has a small dick. I was at his house a while ago. Found a dick extender for his girl. He saw me see this fucking adapter. I just looked at him and said, "I get it, bro. I get it." I didn't. I could have roasted him hard for having a tiny dick and having a dick extender.
Now, when you say dick extender, like a rubber dick that you put on top of your actual dick?
To help your girl out, because he has a tater tot dick. So he put this thing on top of it. It's a bummer, bro. Me being the nice guy, I just looked at him and said, "I get it.
It's just, it is what it is.
Carry on with your night."
It is what it is, man.
It's a
I know-
bummer, man. You can't do shit. Like, if you're real skinny, all right, whatever. You can lift weights, eat right, maybe even buy some steroids. We can figure some shit out. Like you said, your dick. We got 3D printing where we're making all sorts of fucking new organs, whatever the fuck you want. We can't do dicks.
I got a question.
Yeah.
When you see like women that are bodybuilders and they take steroids, their clit grows and their clit becomes like a dick.
Yeah.
Do you think if a dude got on some crazy ass fucking steroids, would it make his dick grow? Like if you got on some wild silverback Mark Coleman 1996 type steroids, you know,
You have to ask Mark Coleman.
some top of the fucking food chain Alexander Karelin type shit.
Dude, some Pujanowski.
Just wouldn't your dick grow?
I feel like it would.
I think it would grow.
Your balls are going to shrivel up
If
like
you-
raisins, but your dick is going to be fat.
Your balls are going to have to step away from the game. They're not doing the job. You know, it's like, what if you have a 4-cylinder engine in your race car and someone comes along and say, listen, we got one or two choices. We can either take out this bitch-ass 4-cylinder and put in this LS7 6-point whatever liter motherfucking
Preach.
fire-breathing dragon engine, or you can keep up with your bullshit fuel economy and that shitty putt-putt. What are we going to do? Are we here to win races? Well, you take that crazy, you know, Mark Kerr
Hoggy of
circa
an engine.
2001, you know, Mark Kerr, the Smashing Machine at its peak.
The Smashing thing.
Take some of that stuff.
Bro, I think, you know what? I don't know if your dick grows longer. I think it might get fatter.
Might get bigger, too. I mean,
Just
if the girl's
fat.
clit gets bigger.
I don't
Is this
know,
Dustin
man.
Jacoby next? Is that next? Oh, that's a good fight.
That's the co-main
next.
event.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Denver product.
Yeah, he's a tough kid, man.
Fought in the UFC too, right?
Yes, he did. Tough kid. I wonder. I think genetic engineering is going to be where it's all at. That's what's going to fix.
Yeah, we'll get there. And
the lips,
pretty
the
soon,
butts,
everyone's gonna be walking around
the
with
dicks,
fat
giant arms,
asses, big dicks,
giant dicks.
big noses.
Yeah, I used to have this bit about big dick pills. That if big dick pills really worked, it would take about 30 minutes for the first guy to die of an overdose. And then, I go, because no one's going to take one.
Hell no.
If big dick pills work, it take one makes my dick grow. What if I take all of them?
That's how guys
How much
are.
do I take before I die? And I'll take one less than that.
Yeah,
we'll
for
get
real.
this fucking party rolling.
Get this ready.
And I was like, there's Jacoby fighting that guy that we just saw that won earlier right there. Jacoby's one of the guys who beat him. The guy that we saw earlier that knocked out
yeah,
Bang
these
Bang
last
All
two
Bang.
fights are gonna be dope.
Yeah. And Wayne Barrett's a bad motherfucker. He's very good. Super athletic. Real quick. Real sneaky, man. Really, really good athlete. Good boxer, too. He's a good boxer before he got into kickboxing. He's a real good athlete, too. There's a lot of real good guys at the high level in this.
I mean, you know Schilling. I wonder how it works with Glory. Like, are they contracted to Glory where they can't fight anywhere else? Is
He
it
fights
like
with
the
Bellator,
UFC?
too.
Is it, you know, Bellator and Glory are friendly, but can he fight elsewhere? Can he fight over in Japan or in Thailand?
I don't know how his contract.
I wonder how those
is set
contracts
up.
are.
I don't know. They have
Because it has to be tough.
Paul
for
Daly
a lot
now
of
too,
guys.
though. They have Paul Daly.
Yeah.
He's in both Bellator and it's
So
a
like
good,
I said, that makes sense for those guys.
It's just whatever it is, for whatever reason. Bellator has been around for a long time now, okay? It's been around for several years, and for whatever fucking reason, it just has not caught on the way the UFC caught on in like the early 2000s.
Oh, it never will.
That doesn't make sense to me.
They don't have the stars, they don't have the depth, they
but-
don't have the production
but
crew,
they have-
they don't have the money, right?
They have Viacom money.
And that's crazy money.
Well, why doesn't Viacom say, look, we could either have this middling product where we're always going to have like good guys like Phil Davis and Tito Ortiz and, you know, Shlemenko and good fighters, or we can go balls out and we can get the really good guys.
Like who?
Like
What are you gonna do?
anybody that's in contract negotiations. Chad Mendez was talking to them. When Chad Mendez had, you know, his contract
Yeah.
was about to come up. You don't think that he got offers? I don't know what his deal was, and I don't think he was even thinking about going. But you don't think that Rampage went over there? You know, Rampage is in a lawsuit right now where he's got to figure out where he's going to fight again.
If he is ever going to fight again.
The UFC said they would let him go. They said, you
Oh,
know,
really?
Yeah, they said,
Oh,
look,
that's
we,
cool,
we
man.
understand that you're in this big
Oh, that's
lawsuit
dope.
with Viacom. And Viacom's threatened to sue. The UFC said, "We'll let you go. You could go and fight for them." And
That's
I
dope,
think,
man.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool
think,
for them to do that.
I think they're offering to settle. I think Viacom's offering to settle. They want because they did violate his contract. They
Yeah.
did, 100%. And
Well-
he did fight Fabio Maldonado afterwards. The
Yeah.
judge cleared him to fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the specifics of the case was, but is the last that I read was that
You're
they're-
looking at a 10-year investment where we're gonna have to get these young guys from the UFC, and then we're gonna have to recruit the younger guys who come up because guys come up through the ranks, right? Like
Right.
Phil Davis or the Ultimate Fighter came up through the Ultimate Fighter. A bunch of guys did. They have to figure out kind of their feeder system because right now all they're doing is biting off the UFC. Really, let's be honest. Really,
Yeah.
they're putting on B-level, C-level shows that the UFC put on 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Phil Davis kind of the first guy who's in his prime who went there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Phil Davis isn't a knockout artist. I love Phil.
Well, but Phil Davis just knocked out what's his face?
He's from
Francis
Montreal.
Carmont.
Carmont.
Yes.
Yes.
Carmont's a very good fighter, and Davis beat the shit out of him,
I
man.
knocked him out.
Yeah, he looked nasty. In
No,
that
Davis
fight.
fucked those
It's like-
dudes up.
It's like he turned a corner, you know, and like
Did he turn
went
a
over
corner? Or
there.
is he fighting lesser competition?
Both. I think both.
I agree. I think Davis is getting better, and I
Yeah.
think Davis is in his prime, and he's
Yeah.
going to run that show for a very, very long time.
I was super impressed when he beat Glover. I was like, wow, that is a big victory. But I think Glover had a shit camp. I really do.
Still a big victory, though.
It's a
Whatever
doesn't matter.
excuse
No
Glover makes,
excuses
that's a
matter.
huge victory.
100%. But I was disappointed when he lost to Bader. But then when you see the way Bader beat Rashad, you're like, look, you need to consider Bader the way he is right now. Don't consider how Bader got knocked out by Glover or Bader that got knocked out by Machida.
What, 5 in a row?
He's won 5 in a row and look fucking real good.
But guess what's next for him, though? You're a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Anthony Johnson.
Yeah.
Couldn't be a worse matchup for
Is
Bader.
that happening? Because Rumble asked for it.
Well, I think that's what's next for him. Because what are you going to do? You're going to sit out and wait for John and DC to fight? Who knows how long that's going to be? They're going to make you fight.
Rumble's terrifying.
Rumble's terrifying, and I can't think of a worse matchup for Bader, and I love Bader. But if I'm Bader, I'm like, God, if I'm Bader, I'd rather fight John Jones than Rumble. I can't think of a worse matchup for him.
There's some interesting fights at 205. Real interesting. Real interesting. I was really surprised how well he shut Rashad down. I was really surprised. I was like, wow, Bader has really turned a corner.
I think that's a tough fight to say that.
Well, it is because Rashad had 2 years layoff, but Bader looked real good. I'm only basing it on how good Bader looked. He looked real good. He looked real smooth with his stand-up.
He's getting way better.
His jab is nasty, man. The jab is really opening up a lot of the other aspects of his striking because he's developed a rhythm with his jab where his jab has become so fluid and efficient that he can like kind of half out there. He can half it and then pop you with it. He's landing it in like a more diverse way than he ever did before. He has more proficiency, like his proficiency with his jab.
I agree. He looks great.
Co-main event, Wayne Barrett versus Dustin Jacoby.
Bader does look great. I think it's tough to base it off the Rashad fight.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That was a real tough fight for Rashad. I think Rashad would have done better to have a fight with someone who wasn't in the
warm-up or something.
Yeah.
But think about Bader, man. Think what Bader's come from. Remember when he lost to fucking Tito Ortiz and it's 2 in a row? Remember he lost to Tito Ortiz? Remember Tito Ortiz was like, I can hit him. And he like fell down.
Well, he hit him and then he choked
Submitted him, yeah.
Yeah. But that, you know what,
That was
man?
a motherfucker, man.
Tito Ortiz, if he's on and he catches you, he's still Tito Ortiz.
Oh, he's Tito Ortiz. One of the best of all time.
Got to remember, he was at one point in time the motherfucker.
Baddest guy on earth for a while.
I mean, not really, because Chuck was always out there. We always knew that Chuck was out there. But before he fought Chuck, when you think of what he did to Evan Tanner, you think of like the beatdowns he put on Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, man.
Like Tito Ortiz is still Tito. The way he's like one of the first guys to ever use a one-arm guillotine. He choked out Yuki Kondo in Japan. Remember that?
Well, think about.
Was that Japan? I think it was.
Well, think about Bader, though, that he was 2 losses in a row and just lost to Tito Ortiz. He was like on the chopping block, man. I remember just being like, damn, really, Bader?
Well, that dude just kept
boom.
working. Dustin Jacoby is going after Wayne Barrett. This is a dangerous fight for Jacoby because Barrett has fought more elite competition. Like, he's fought Joe Schilling, beat Joe Schilling once, lost to Joe Schilling in the last fight, knocked Joe Schilling down. Like, he's dangerous. And Jacoby is I forget the Brazilian cat that he got knocked out by.
Dude, I say McNichols Arena? That arena's been shut down for literally 15 years. That's Magnus Arena. My bad.
Oh.
Magnus. McNichols is old school where UFC like 2 and 3 happened.
Dude, this is a good fight. Wayne Barrett. He's slick, man. Look at that. Whoops. Not here.
Ooh.
Yeah. Jacoby's like super aggressive too. I forget the dude that he fought, this badass Brazilian cat. What's Dustin Jacoby's record? A badass dude who caught him with a left hook.
Dude, it's tough because Jacoby came to the UFC and just struggled, right? Because you can't fight like this. It's tough to get off like this.
It's a different style fighting with the small gloves. That's for sure. Who did he lose to?
That's MMA. So
yeah, this is MMA. That's all MMA. See if you find Dustin Jacoby's kickboxing career. Good duck under. See how he duck under that looping right hand? Yeah. It's just the big gloves thing, the defense is so much different.
Oh, 100%.
And that's what happened with Schilling. In Schilling's last fight, he got caught with that Superman punch by that dude.
That was bad.
Oof, it was ruthless.
Shit happens.
But those punches, they come down on angles.
There he is. Damn, that stretch from 13 to 15 was tough.
Why can't I read that? Make that
Casey Green, Ariel
Pereira, Alex Pereira. Yeah, it was Pereira.
He lost to Pereira.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was Pereira.
Damn, he's fought all over.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a totally different style of defense when you're using the small gloves. The big gloves give you so much more leeway to catching punches, and the punches themselves are bigger, the gloves are bigger. So the punches are coming at you, it's a larger object coming at you, and you have a larger object to catch that larger object. And all that shit is shrunken considerably when you put those MMA gloves into the mix.
Night and day. It'd be like these guys fighting with their hand wraps on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different game.
What do you think about the idea of no gloves?
It won't work.
No?
Well, if you hate money and ratings, it'll work. You know what I'm saying? like it's rough. It's rough enough now being mainstream. You know, I don't think we're still mainstream. I think we're still working on that with the top sports. You take gloves off, and these dudes are bare knuckle fucking dudes up. Yeah, it makes sense to us, right? It makes sense to the educated people, but I mean, mid America sees that shit. General people, they're like, what the hell? This is so barbaric.
Right. Maybe.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I mean, why is it barbaric to punch in the face and not barbaric to knee in the face? How come you
Joe,
can
I'm with
elbow?
you 100%. Take the gloves off. It's safer.
It is.
It is. I'm with you. However, marketing-wise, good luck selling that. They're like, hold up. We're going back to the Kimbo Slice backyard brawl days? Thought we were moving forward.
Well, you would have a lot of dudes breaking their hands, too. That would be a real problem. It would be a real problem for, like, longevity of your career. And people think I'm exaggerating. Listen, take away the hand wraps. Take away the wrist wraps. No wrist wraps. Because I think one of the flaws of the human hand for punching is the wrist. It's hard. Like, you have to have like real discipline to punch hard, and you have to practice hitting things bare knuckle to really develop that rigidity in your wrist when you deliver the impact of a punch. Because most people, when they hit things, their wrist bends back and twists sideways. Most people don't know. They wind up breaking their hands. They hit with the knuckles, the outside.
Well, that's why Boss would open hand slap bitches.
Well,
that's why he started
to.
doing that.
No,
yeah.
he was fighting in pancrase. That's the only way he could fight. He figured out that was the rules of pancrase.
He also did it, though, when they had gloves. He would use open hand shit.
Really?
Yeah.
When they had gloves, he did that?
Yeah. He would throw his hooks with an open hand, he said.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's one of the reasons why he probably transferred so easily to pancrase.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, this is a good fight. You know, one of the things that Boss figured out how to do in some weird way, he figured out how to pull his hand back way far. So when he was hitting guys, he was hitting them like a punch with the palm.
Yeah.
With the base of the palm, like right where it reaches, like where the palm is meets the wrist joint. He would pull his hand so far back, like unnaturally far. If you watch his fights, it's kind of weird how far his hands go back.
He was like the first freak athlete to get things. I mean, he was a freak athlete, man.
He was the first elite striker in MMA, in my opinion. Him and Mo Smith. But he was probably the first because with Mo, he really didn't know any grappling to speak of. When he first started fighting in pancrase, he really had to learn more grappling before we could see. Like in extreme fighting, you got to see what his kickboxing was really like. When he knocked out Conan Silveira, that's when everybody was like, oh, shit. Like, this is some next level shit. And then when he came over to the UFC and beat Mark Coleman and won the title, people were like, okay, this is what a kickboxer really looks like, a world-class kickboxer.
Boss said he taught himself jiu-jitsu.
That's madness.
Crazy, right? Said he'd watch videos and teach himself. Had a training partner, just him and his training partner would learn on
Come
each
here,
other.
I tried this on you.
How crazy is that?
I believe it.
Boss is
a goddamn
crazy.
savage.
Savage.
He had some crazy ideas about conditioning, too. He goes, when I would kick the bag, I would go 100%. And how long can I do? 30 seconds? 100%. Well, tomorrow I'll do 40 seconds. And then I'd do 2 minutes. And then
crazy dude.
He would build it up so that he could get to, like, whatever the round was. He would just sprint.
God damn. It's a different time back then.
Well, they didn't, now people do Tabata when you do
They're doing an elliptical and shit. Yeah.
You do like intervals, like Tabata intervals. What is Tabata's like
20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. That's the typical Tabata.
What I do when I do sprint, like if I'm in a hotel and I have nothing but an elliptical machine in the gym, I'll do sprints on the elliptical machine where I'll crank it up to like whatever a really high level, and I'll do 30 minutes of thunder, I call it. Or 30 seconds of thunder.
I was like, 30 minutes? No. God damn.
30 seconds, well, 30 minutes for the whole workout.
Yeah.
But for the thunder, it's 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. It gives me something to do. And it, like, those 30 seconds off, like, oh,
thank
I know
God.
it's coming. I know it's coming. Here comes that fucking
It
29.
makes it go by
28.
faster, though. I think it's a
Sort
better
of.
way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're not so focused on the overall time. You're more focused on 30, 30, 30, 30, 30.
Yeah. It also gets you used to being just completely exerted. It's a great way to get a cardio workout in on a piece of, like, when people think of like hardcore workouts, you think of an Airdyne or maybe a VersaClimber.
Yeah.
Like those you think of as like hard. Well, a VersaClimber, you can get the same kind of insane workout on an elliptical machine.
100%.
But people associate elliptical with, like, you know, you're watching the news,
They
it's
see
sort of
just
like
girls
going
on there,
slow.
you know?
When I use the elliptical machine, people look at me like something fucking wrong with
Yeah,
me.
I go hard in the paint on an elliptical. I go fucking hard on the elliptical, dog.
Hard in the paint?
Hard in the paint.
What does that mean?
Just like it's basketball terms, right? Like
Is
hard
it?
in the paint. Yeah.
Oh, the
Like
paint.
The
The
paint. I go
paint.
hard in the motherfucking paint.
Is this round 2 or 3? Round 3. Damn, Dustin Jacoby.
You know
taking
how
it to
guys
him.
have we're starting to see a trend where guys are sparring less and less because they realize the abuse in the gym.
Yeah.
That Rodriguez was saying how he only sparred 3 times, I think, in camp.
Yeah, Yair.
Yeah.
I think Brian Stan was saying that.
Yeah,
Whoa,
3 times.
Dustin Jacoby trying to wheel. Dustin Jacoby really taking it to him, man. He looks great. He looks really improved, too, from the Pereira fight. I think that knockout really taught him a lot about defense. He's looking great in this fight, man. Good leg kick right there.
Barrett's throwing with the freaking.
But look how
130.
how easy it is to block punches with these goddamn
True.
big gloves. It's such a different game. It's so different. Look at this. John Wayne Parr, when he does that cage Muay Thai, do they wear MMA gloves or do they wear
MMA gloves.
Yeah?
He has a fight coming up, right? He's coming out here
does.
soon.
He's fighting Black Dynamite.
I like that guy.
In cage Muay Thai, and he's out here fighting for the title.
In San Diego?
In Lion Fight. He's gonna fight for the title. I like that guy too. He's a good dude.
Yeah, really good dude. Funny.
Yeah, I got to work out with him, man. He showed me some.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Really interesting way of throwing punches. Like he throws everything hard. Like even his jab is hard.
He makes it count.
His jab, he pulls back with his right hand. Oh shit! Wayne Barrett went down. What happened? Oh my God! He was touching the back of his head like it was a bad strike.
Damn, he's out of it. Oh, he's super out of it.
That's it. Whoa. Dustin Jacoby knocked out Wayne Barrett. And Wayne Barrett is he was pointing to the back of his head. He pointed to the back of his head earlier in the fight too. Damn, Justin Jacoby, congratulations.
Good for you.
What was I just saying?
John Wayne Parr.
John Wayne Parr. He throws punches like this. He pulls back on his right hand. This is how he throws a jab. Heish! He goes like that. Heish!
Jesus
like
Christ.
I worked out with him for like an hour and a half. We did.
Was that awesome?
Yeah, it was really fun. He's a good dude. He showed me a lot of cool shit too. A lot of cool shit. Like the way he delivers knees is interesting too. Damn, that is legit as fuck.
Hell yeah.
What is he pointing the back of his head for? Let's see that
so
again.
Fucked up, you know where he got hit.
He was getting battered before he got dropped there. I mean, that was not just that one shot either. What happened? Oh, they went to a commercial. So I wanted to see that knockdown again.
That's the other thing,
They'll
man.
probably
I
show
don't
it to
miss
you.
boxing.
No.
Any boxing, I watch fucking all of it.
We have a thing, right? Can we rewind that for a second? I just want to see that knockdown again.
That'd be nice.
I forgot we have the DVR up in this bitch. Yeah, there it is. No, right before that, Jamie. Right before that.
Oh.
Right before that.
There we go.
Here we go.
This is the money maker.
Here we go. Boom.
Boop. On the temple.
Boom.
Boop.
That's good.
Chin. Back of the
Oh,
head.
that's 100% good. That's the side of the head.
Oh, that'd be
That's the temple.
I'd say that's the back of the head.
Let me see that again.
Where I come from,
Boom,
that'd be back of the
left
head.
hook, bam. No chance.
Bro, Siv,
But, dude,
that is the back
make
of
it
the
slow,
head.
Jamie.
It's
make
legal.
it go slow. Hold on.
It's legal, though.
Hold on, but make it go slow. That's a fucking temple, dude. Watch this.
Bro, that would be back
Hold
of
on.
the head.
Make it slow.
How do you make it go?
Isn't there a slow button? There's a slow-mo thing.
I don't know how to use this.
You press, like, pause and then, I don't know.
Double pause?
I think pause and then fast forward.
Here.
Let me see that thing. Isn't there like a way you can do slow-mo? Pretty sure there is. What is this? No network connection. Cancel. Hold on.
Oh, he's saying it's back
What
of
did
the
you?
head.
What happened here, Jamie? Where am I pressing this to? Where's the receiver? It's in there.
Yeah.
Well, how does it work?
It's RF radio frequency.
Well, it's not. It's not reacting.
I think you got to hit cancel on that thing. There
Okay,
you
now
go.
it's working.
Yeah, that's for sure back of the head. But it's legal. You know what I'm saying? It's in transition.
Okay.
So
hold
it's
on a
legal.
second. Take a look at it better.
Give me that first view.
Let's get a view of it in real time first. Here it is right here.
This is where you can see the back of the head.
Boom. Bam. See, to me, it looks like the side of the head.
Definitely
He's
not.
grabbing this. He's grabbing
if
this.
this is side of the head, then I
No,
agree.
that's not where he's grabbing. He's grabbing like his temple. How do I make this thing go slow? Let me see if I can do this. I think there's a way. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Guy gets the old crazy eyes on him.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Here's Dustin Jacoby moving in. Check it. Mad pressure by Jacoby, too. Good defense. Look at that. Good defense there. Barrett tried to swing that right hook around.
This left
and
hook.
Jacoby, bang, catches him here. 100% clean there.
That side of the head.
Side of the head, which is legit, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's see. We get a good view of it here. And Barrett really relying on that right hand. Boom.
Kind of
And
catches
let's see
him.
if
Grazes that
But that
nose.
one gets blocked. That one gets blocked. So now he's coming over again. Barrett is, or Jacoby is, misses that left. And now here we go.
Here goes the back of the head. Look at that.
Come on, son.
Bro,
Look
that's
where he's
his
standing.
neck.
Look where he's standing.
That's basically the
Dude,
back of his
look,
neck.
Look where he's standing. They're standing staring at each other.
Homeboy moves, though. So he moves his
Wayne
neck.
Barrett turns his head sideways, and he hits him right in the temple.
Bro, that's not in the temple.
It's right here.
If we
side
could,
of the head. That is not. Look at him. It's not the back
He's
of
not
his head.
touching right there. He's
Dude,
not touching
unless
there.
he has a hook for an arm, there's no fucking way that's hitting the back
Bro,
of his. Look at where it
right
makes
there.
impact.
Look at that right there.
No, look at it right there. It's bouncing off the side of his head, and you see the fist appear behind his head.
Bro, that's
one more
here.
time. One more time. Let's watch it again. Watch it again. Boom. That's one. And there's the right hook.
Schnoz.
Misses. And there's the left hook over the
Misses.
top.
Misses.
And here it comes. Here it comes. Look, they're standing right at each other, and the punch comes.
And
Watch where the punch
enjoy
comes.
this punch. Back of the
Straight.
neck.
Look at that
Back
punch.
of the neck. That's not touching him right
Incorrect. This is
Bro,
incorrect. This is a straight punch, right? It lands on the side of his head, and then it glances off the side of his head, and you see the fist behind the head.
You don't think
that
that's
is
the
not
impact
no
out there?
fucking chance.
Oh,
That is
I
not
disagree.
hitting. That is not hitting the back of his head. That is hitting the side of his head, and you're seeing the
I
punch.
think with the glove, it's like here, Joe. Look, like here.
Yeah, that's legal, dude.
No, it's illegal. I think that's legal. What
What are you
he's doing.
saying? Back of the head. That's the side of the head.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's the side of the head.
If you go to punch me and I move like this and you end up hitting side and back of the head, that's legal.
But he's not hitting the back of the head.
So he didn't touch the
He
back
hit
of
the
his
side
head.
of his head. No,
He touched side and back.
I don't know, man.
Boom.
That to me looks
Knock your
more
ass out
like
back of the head.
right behind the ear, which is totally legit. The back of the head to me is a rabbit punch. That's where the base of the neck meets the base of the head meets the
where's
neck.
this, Joe?
That's the back of the ear. That's legal. That's not. There's no.
I'm saying that's
legal
where
even
I'm
in
saying
MMA.
it hit right here.
I think you're changing the game.
No. That's back
think-
of the head, bro.
He's changing the game. Yeah, but it's not. Boom.
It's legal. That
It's
hit
kind
is
of
illegal.
Yeah, it's totally legal.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. It's
All
legal.
right.
No,
All
we're
right,
not
maybe I
disagreeing on that.
misunderstood. Maybe I
Yeah.
misunderstood. I thought
Oh,
you
we
were
got
saying that it wasn't.
miscommunication here. That's all it is.
That's pretty slick, though.
Yeah, it
It's
was.
a big win for Jacoby, man. Real big win. Oh, shit. Artem Levin, top of the heap.
He's out though, huh?
Well, he's out for this fight. You know, you look at that guy, you look at his body, and you're like, it looks a lot like Ari Shafir's body.
Just,
Like, how's that guy such a badass, you know?
damn, Manuf number 4, huh?
Well, he's been fucked up by Joe Schilling. That doesn't make
Super
any
fucked
sense. How is he so highly ranked?
Well, Joe's 2 though.
Well, Joe Schilling hasn't really lost in glory other than the decision loss to Simon Marcus, or that wasn't in glory. The decision loss to Artem Levin. He beat Artem Levin by decision too. And then the decision loss to Wayne Barrett. Those are the fights that he lost in glory. So
Unless Schilling's getting paid bank to compete in MMA, for sure stick with kickboxing.
I agree.
What the fuck are you doing?
I think he just doesn't want to back off from a challenge, and he wants to be the best at everything he does. You know, that's how he got to be such a badass kickboxer.
I agree, but be a badass kickboxer.
It's-
Don't be an average MMA fighter.
Well, it's just really hard to do everything, man. It's really hard. It's really
Oh
fucking
no,
hard
it's not
to do
possible.
everything.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
It's really not.
It's a crazy game, man. The game of trying to be the baddest motherfucker in 2 disciplines, that is a crazy crazy game.
Because the guys he's fighting aren't folks on their off time grappling and wrestling. They're getting better at striking.
100%.
That's what it's tough. Like when I see that, I love Joe Schilling. He's a friend of yours. He's a friend of mine, and I support him. But when I see him do MMA, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, you know what? He knocked out Melvin Manhoef in MMA, but he was fighting a guy in Melvin Manhoef that, even though he had a lot of success in MMA, he knocked out Mark Hunt. He's a guy who's been knocked out a gang of times.
A ton, man.
Knocked out by Robbie Lawler in one of the most horrific knockouts you've ever seen in your life.
He was winning that fight, too.
He was.
If you remember.
Robbie Lawler uncorked a nuke on
from
his face.
Downtown.
Boom. And his lights went out, and he goes flat to his back.
So
and
bad.
Then Robbie comes down on him when he's out.
Dude.
Boom.
Endo Bisbee
and just
style.
blood all over his mouth. There's blood coming out of his mouth. I mean, he busted his fucking lip open. I think that, Joe's just got that in him. He just wants to be a bad motherfucker at everything he does, which is why he became so good at kickboxing. But I think there's wisdom in your words. He's one of the best kickboxers on the planet Earth, without a doubt.
Hands down. Hands down one of the best on planet Earth.
But I think
average
also,
MMA fighter.
But losing the way he lost to that Japanese cat, that half Japanese dude that he lost to, who was that guy's name?
Where he got Superman punched.
Yeah, that guy was a beast, man. That guy's really good. He's no joke, man.
He's good.
No, his striking is nasty. That fucking punch was nasty. No matter how you slice it.
That punch was super nasty. I agree. I'm just saying it's still Bellator.
It is. But that guy has only fought in Bellator that one time. I mean, that guy could have easily been in the UFC.
And
he
get
could
ate the fuck up. Like Kobayashi. No.
You never know.
Kato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got about
Kato.
10 minutes left before we're at 3 hours.
Yeah, Psyche Kato get his ass ate up in
really?
the UFC.
We got 10 minutes left before we go to 3 hours. So we're going to take a little break here, folks, and we're going to have a very short part 2. The part 2 will be so goddamn short. It's 9:15 now? Actually, we'll probably go to 10 o'clock. We'll make part 2 like 45 minutes. We'll go to 10 o'clock. So we're going to get the fuck out of here now. The end of this podcast has come. If you're annoyed by this, listen, this is just how these things go. Whatever, for sure, don't download part 2, because for sure we're just going to be talking about our friend Joe Schilling.
True.
I love that dude. So that's why we're here. That's why this is the first Spike TV Glory event we've ever done a fight companion for. 100% for Joe Schilling. This is what this is for. Mauro Ranallo, cage side with Skeletor. We'll be right back. Be right back.